You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.
Hi, welcome to the Question Reality Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of the shows, and we are coming to you live as I feel. I'm alive, but sometimes I don't feel alive. Oh my God, I'm hanging on by a thread here, people. But we are an entertainment industry career advice show. And we have, just to give you my title, I'm a multiple award-winning independent film festival producer, director. What else do I do? Host, red carpet host, interviewer. Everybody's hyphenated in the entertainment industry. It's nothing impressive, people, for those of you who are not in the entertainment industry. But just to give you an idea, we have been doing our show for 22 years. Oh, my Lord, you say, what? Yes. We started out on cable television, and then we went to radio, and now we're doing podcasts. So we're evolving. And what we do is we have questioned the reality of Oscar nominees. Some of the guests on our show have been Oscar nominees, Grammy Award winner. Yeah, nominees. I haven't had an Oscar winner yet, but I have friends that are Oscar winners, and I'm begging them, come on my show. You know how it is dealing with these agents and managers. No offense, but we have Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners. We've had Tony Award winners. We've had reality TV stars and just various seasoned professionals that have come on the show, both in front of and behind the camera. And they're heavyweights. They're working in the entertainment industry and show business. And they come on and we ask them to speak openly about their trials and tribulations and honest reality about pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. It's not all daffodils and ducks, people, but I do like to stay positive. But we do have to know, don't come out here with $250 in your pocket or less. I mean, you're not even going to get a damn meal on a parking spot for that out here. But, you know, some people do it, and we don't want you to do that. So we are going to ask the guests to give you advice and tell you don't do that. Prepare plan A, plan B, plan C, always in life. Now, is this show funny? I think so. I think the guests on my show are always funny. So I'm going to say check. Is it highly energetic? Well, here you go. I'm like this all the time. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. Never have. It might be why I have too much energy. I need to smoke a little Mary Jane and get rid of this energy. Something's not right. No, but I'm actually very normal. Absolutely entertaining. I think the guests are, or else I wouldn't invite them to be on the show. So you bet your shiny Oscar that all of those things are a check. Now, what our goal is on the show is to inspire, motivate, and educate you, and just try to have a hopefully super fun time while doing it. By the end of the show, my goal is that we hope you'll have just a head full of laughter and I think it's a head full of knowledge and a heart full of laughter. I think so. When I wrote this originally, that's what I intended it to say. You know, I've been doing this show for 22 years, still haven't memorized my show intro. This is why I cannot be an actor. I have so many A-list casting director friends, and they say, Priscilla, what is wrong with you? You could be a sitcom actress. I said, no, I can't. I can memorize one word. 2 words, you're pushing it. A sentence, get the hell out of here. I'm not doing it. But if I had my own reality show, which now I don't want, but I think that would have worked better. So, booked. If you would like to be on the show, refer someone to promote themselves, showcase, highlight their career, you can go to our website, questionrealityradioshow.com. Or email me directly at priscillaleona@yahoo.com. And if you want to watch any of our past shows, as I said, we've been on the air for 22 years. So we've migrated just about, I'd say all of the shows to our YouTube channel. And that is at Priscilla Leona. YouTube, of course, at Priscilla Leona. Real quick, let me give you a tip. If you are a child actor, a teen actor, you're just starting in the business, my tip for you from the experts who've come on this show, one of my friends is Jason Michael Kennedy. He casts for all the NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles, New Orleans. Oh my God, Origins, you name it. He casts for everything. But one of the great tips he gave me a long time ago, he's been on the show multiple times, but he says, please keep it consistent. If you start out with your name if you can, because your name is your most powerful tool in the industry, especially if it's a unique name. Do not have various social media. Your Facebook is one name, your Instagram's another name, your Twitter, I don't know. I don't think that's a medium anymore for entertainment, but whatever it is, TikTok, blah, 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 blah. Keep it consistent, because it's very important that people be able to find you. Agents, managers, casting directors, producers, director, basically everyone, 5 to 10 second attention span. Meet you at a party. What's your name? They'll Google it if they can't find you because you've got a real cute Daisy Dukes, Sunshine Sally, whatever you come up with. They can't find you, you're gone. You're going to have to work very hard for them to figure it out. And also, I've been told by the top casting directors that if you keep everything consistent, it shows that you have a level of professionalism. Even if you're a child, you know that you have to be found. You know your name is your power tool. So keeping it consistent is very important. So that's my tip. Now, we asked a little favor, if you've enjoyed our guests and our show today, if you love the guests that are on today, and boy, do we have a lot of them. Wow, this is the most people I've ever had on my show. I usually just keep it to 1, 2 maximum, but we're going to give you a treat tonight. There's all kinds of activity going on tonight. If you would help them out, please consider subscribing to their social media sites. I think most of them have Instagram because they are children and teens. So that's the new thing. First it was Facebook, and all us old fogies, we jumped on the bandwagon and took Facebook away from them. So then they went to Instagram, and then we're right behind them. So I think they're going to go to another medium. I think they're doing a lot of TikTok, the younger people. But for tonight's show, I believe most of them are on Instagram. So please go to their sites and subscribe. They need it. Everybody needs a little thumb. Please be kind. And for me personally, if you do subscribe, I will reciprocate. That's very important. If you see someone started following you, vet them first. Vet. That means look them up and make sure they're legitimate and they have an authentic website. They have authentic social media. You don't want any trifling people associated with your name because that's a whole different story. But go and vet them, and if you feel like there's somebody that you want to follow, then follow them. But everybody, I vet them, and then I will add them on and subscribe back because it's very important. Again, please subscribe to my channels, which YouTube. Well, here we go. We're kicking into my little tip here. YouTube channel at Priscilla Leona. LinkedIn, X, TikTok at Priscilla Leona again. Facebook page. What the hell? Priscilla Leona again. What's going on? It's happening. It's a reality. Now, we have another Facebook page, which is specifically dedicated to the show. It's at Question Reality Show. And then, of course, the website is questionrealityradioshow.com. And that's because we were on for decades under radio show. I have to change that. But for now, questionrealityradioshow.com. Did I say Instagram? Yes, I said Instagram, didn't I? Well, at Instagram, at Priscilla Leona. I just realized I do not have Instagram on here. I'm going to have to add that. At our archive pages, again, if you missed any of our episodes, we have had, I'm telling you, if you want any advice, if you want to pursue a career in Broadway, we've had Tony Award winners, Grammy, Tony, and they give the best tips because I write some questions. I interrogate them on this show. I don't don't have those frilly questions. I'm asking serious questions. Again, the social media sites. Da, 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 da. Okay, now we're going to get to the good stuff. And I call that the guest. Now, let me just tell you a little bit before we bring them on. Tonight, we have representatives from M as in Mary, P as in Paul, management. And if I get anything wrong, I apologize. Please correct me when you come on. They are a child teen management company, and the clients include Emmy, Oscar nominees, series regulars, Broadway performers, models, young athletes, young musicians, and several stars that are set to appear in film that is being released this year and also next year. And MP Management, a little background history, they've been around a while. They were founded over 40 years ago by a former stage mom named Marlene Perutka. I hope that's correct. MP Management has represented successful child stars, actors, singers, dancers, again, models, musicians, athletes. And Marlene's expertise in media, publicity, and the evolving entertainment industry, along with her advocacy for child actors, helped establish MP Management as a leader in representing professionally and personally successful young talent, and originally serving. Now, what I'd like to do is have the pictures of some of the current client roster appearing. Oh, wait a minute. Is that Nadia with Patricia Arquette, one of my favorite actresses. I think that might be Nadia, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's Marlene. Oh, and there's Carrie CC Klein. Wasn't she gorgeous? Look at that. Wow, she's a stunner. And then you have to forgive me because I do not know the children beforehand, but he's cute as a button, is he not? Yes, he is. I love those glasses. I want those. I think that's him again, laying upside down. But while the pictures are siphoning through, oh, look how cute that is. I like that. Originally serving as the company's legal counsel, Dale Perutka, I hope that's correct, later took over leadership and expanded MP Management's bi-coastal presence. And also, he started overseeing its 2023 merger with Casapia Productions and Casapia Theater, and recognized for his ability to discover hidden talent. He's got the nose. Dale became one of the first managers. Now, this is very impressive to me. Dale became one of the first managers to create non-traditional departments for young performers, including those with disabilities and young athletes. Extremely impressive to me. Now, child teen actors tonight on this show include Amani Moss Bias, Tessa Inez, Shane Saloria, Orion Tran, Brady Landon. Oh, I love that name. Ella, I believe it's pronounced Yergi or Yergay. I apologize. These are extremely successful working child and teen actors, and they're going to be providing advice on how you or your child can get started in the entertainment industry. And please feel free to ask any questions in the comment section. If you are seeing that now, the comment section during the live interview to talk directly to the guest. And you can also watch the live production. Well, actually, it won't be live by the time we finish, but you can also watch it on YouTube or Facebook after we do the interview. So, oh, look at Nadia. Look how cute. Look at those beautiful eyes. Wow. Those are mesmerizing and titillating. Gorgeous lady. Okay, so without further ado, it is time. We are going to bring on first Cece Klein and Nadia Witt, and they are going to start us off by providing our audience with advice on getting started as a child actor and relationships that support young performers' careers. So, without further ado, let's bring on Cece and Nadia. Woo! There she is. There's that.
Hi,
Look at
Priscilla.
these two little hotties. Wow, gorgeous. Oh my God, Cece, you look like a very good friend of mine who's an actress. Her name is Eileen Gruba. Eileen Gruba. I don't know if you know her. Gorgeous. Oh my God. You two are, wow, you should be out there on the modeling circuit yourself.
I just love you.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, you can tell that obviously from your gorgeous physical looks, you had a career previously in the entertainment industry. Now, why don't we start with Cece? Cece, what is your background in reference to the entertainment industry?
So I was really young when I got into the business. I was about 6 years old. My older brother worked all the time. I didn't at first. I was very shy. I wanted nothing to do with it. And when I was about 7, 8 years old, I started working. Something really switched in me. And I said, okay, wait a second. My brother's doing all this fun stuff. I want to have fun. And I started working steadily for years. And I took 4 years off for college. I said, I just want to see what else is out there. I've been doing this my whole life. And the day I graduated, my agent called me and said, you're coming right back in. And I said, okay. And so I spent my 20s acting, and I learned that I really liked being behind the scenes, producing, and ultimately managing and working with other child actors who are going through all the same things that I went through when I was little. So
wow. Now, were you the actress that was on one of my favorite shows of all time, The Love Boat?
I was.
Oh my God, when I saw that, I just went crazy. I love The Love Boat. Now I'm going to have to go back and look for you in your episode. What stars were on, if you can remember, what stars were on?
I remember. I mean, I worked on it a lot. Aaron Spelling was very good to me. I worked on After the Love Boat. I worked with him on most of his shows. But my first episode, I worked with Richard Klein and Morgan Brittany, and loved them. I still sometimes keep in touch with Richard Klein. Every once in a while, I'll send him a message like, remember this episode or whatever. But I had the best time on that. That was really my first theatrical that I had done. And it was my first exposure to working on television. And I got to know the cast really well. When I was working on The Love Boat, I was also doing a lot of theater in New York, and the whole cast came and supported me in my shows. I could not have had a better experience with it. And I still do appearances to this day for Love Boat related things. And people look at me and they were like, yeah, that was me, the little me.
Yes. Yeah. My friend, Ernest Thomas, a very good friend, he is still doing all of those fan. He was on, he starred on What's Happening, which was back in the 70s. And he goes to, he makes a fortune doing those. You can make a lot of money going to those TV Land signings.
I know, the fans are amazing. They're the best. Yeah.
And they're fans and they love you. And you're just, oh, I can imagine. Damn, I missed out on that. Now, Nadia, I swear to God, I know your name. I wonder if I've met you before.
I think we met. And I think we met because I did a lot of stand-up. And I remember meeting you when I was doing stand-up at the Comedy Store. And I think that's when we became Facebook friends. Because as soon as Cece said, hey, Priscilla Leona is going to have us on our podcast. Like, I know Priscilla Leona. We are actually already Facebook friends and have been for a long time.
I knew it because my friend Brian Kiley, he's been writing for Conan O'Brien for like 25 years now, maybe 30. And we used to often go to see him doing his, improv at the Comedy Store and this and that all over the place. So I wonder if that's where I met you.
For sure. I remember. For
Or
sure.
it may have been a film project, because when I moved out here to go to UCLA, I was doing background acting, because in order to be a producer, I believe you should start out knowing all the positions. So I said, okay, I'm going to be a background actor, so I know, and I'm going to watch, and I'm going to see what's going on. And I'm wondering if you produced any independent film, or did you work on any independent film like in the early 2000s?
I'm sure, but I believe if we met twice, then I believe that. But
yeah.
I remember the Comedy Store for sure, and meeting
Comedy
you.
Store. Yep, because Brian was always doing a show there. Always. God, good. So we got some bonding going on. That's good. Now, let's talk about what is, and we'll go in order, Cece and then Nadia. What are the first steps a parent should take if their child expresses interest in acting? Cece.
So I think before they do anything else, I always recommend that they get into like local theater to see if they have the endurance and if they're ready to learn lines, if they're ready to really go through that process. Because starting out, it's a business. They're creating a business. So it can be very expensive, and there's so many expenses that parents are not expecting. So, make sure that your child really does want to do this and isn't just like watching somebody on TV going, I want to be them, but I don't want to put forth the work.
Right.
Once they get past that point and they find that they really do love it. They love the whole process. They love rehearsing. They love learning lines. They love being around other actors. Then I think it's great to start getting into acting classes. And, there's some really amazing acting classes in LA. There's great, amazing classes in New York. So much is online now, thanks to COVID, of course. And see, that's really the next step. And no agents and managers will really look at kids unless they're really, really young. They're not going to look at kids unless they have training. And that's really important. So before they even start submitting to agents or managers to get into the acting classes, to learn the techniques, to learn things as simple as slating their name. No, people outside of the industry don't know what slate means, and how to do it. We're presenting ourselves. We're introducing ourselves. And then once they get through the class and the kids still love it, then start doing headshots and signing up for casting websites and submitting to agents and managers. And when the right one finds you, that's where you should go.
That's where you go. I tell you, it is a process. Now, Nadia, how important is mentorship for young actors, and how can families find the right guidance in the industry?
I love that question. What I was actually going to talk about was about finding a niche of some sort for a young person. If the kid is really interested in, for example, like playing the drums or playing the guitar or singing or dancing, and it's going to be part of their performing portfolio, that person that believes in you, that single person that believes in you, can be the person that is your mentor within the arts community. Trying to like throw darts at a wall is quite hard. But like if you have something that you are really passionate about and you really love to do, that can be the thing that can guide your career in a way, and also help to brand you, make you that person, the kid who does this, the kid who can also do that, and it'll help you be able to talk about something other than just acting. Really being a well-rounded person. We're going to get to a lot of these things, I think, as we introduce everybody.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will say, I met Cece when I was basically a kid. I was 17 years old, and I was in an acting class. And Cece, for me, was the way you just reacted to the Love Boat. Okay, that's what Cece was for me too, because she was just like, I was like, she's done all this work, and like I was just so impressed, and it was everything that I had grown up with, and then when we became friends, it was very clear that not only was she super talented. She's one of the smartest people that I've ever met and has just a huge heart, and was right there as talking about mentorship, was right there saying, you need to do this, 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 and listening and seeing and being my biggest cheerleader. And so meeting Cece when I was that age, because she was a kid too. So it was kind of amazing. We had this amazing bond, and we kind of like were able to grow up in the sense together, but also she was essentially a bit of a mentor for me. And I think that's why we love it when clients become really, really great friends, because it really shows you need each other in this business. You need to have somebody, whether it is a mentor or whether it is a friend, that support each other. I was so lucky. I never felt competition with the people that I met within the business. I think that's something that exists on television, but not necessarily when you're really like in the grind, right? So you want to have somebody that you're in the trenches with and are experiencing things together, and you can talk about. And Cece and I have so many great stories that we have that we laugh about to this day. And I know that the young people are having those same experiences, those same memories that, in a few years they're going to be like reminiscing on whatever the next podcast thing is for the 2030s.
Right. It seems like, that's so important that the two of you have bonded, because you do need support. It's very competitive out there. I can remember just a real short story. A friend of mine told me he had a roommate, and this was in New York, and it was for a show that's still on today, Law and Order, right? So he had a roommate, and he was working a waiter job. We're talking way back when Law and Order first came on. He had a roommate. He was working a waiter job. And back then you had voicemail. You had like a machine, right? A machine. Remember the machines? So an agent called and told him about an upcoming audition. The roommate didn't tell him and went to the audition himself and booked the role in Law and Order. So it's very, very competitive. So I'm glad we're going to talk about that. Now, Cece, what qualities do you feel casting directors and agents look for in child performers beyond just talent? And I know you touched on that a little earlier, because you do have to have, very early, you got to instill in the child patience and endurance and perseverance. And what else could you add to that?
Well, I think the number one question that a lot of agents and managers ask, and I ask this all the time, I'll ask the kid, why do you want to do this? What do you want to do? And that really, to me, within 15 seconds, I can determine if the child wants to be here, if the parents want the child to be here, if the child just wants to be famous, if they enjoy the artistic side of it. So that's a huge thing that I look for. I also, I look for kids who, when I ask them a question, they're not looking around for their parents to answer the question. And on the opposite side, when I'm asking the child a question, I'm not looking at the parents to answer it. And the parents who, are saying, well, he likes to do this, or she likes to do this, or she can do this, then I know what kind of a parent they're going to be, and I'm not interested. So the child could be the most amazing actor, greatest personality ever, and the parents can swoop right in there and completely destroy their career like that.
Helicopter parent can ruin the career.
Yeah, oh it does. It drives me crazy, and I see a lot of those, and I just and I'll tell the parents, if you keep that up, you're destroying their career before it's even started. Right. And a lot of them think that they know better than everybody else. They've spent an hour in the business, and they've learned everything, and so I don't know anybody who would be interested in working with them. But if we don't have to deal with that, and we're looking just at the child, and the child's super outgoing, physically, I don't really care what they look like. Everybody's unique, and the industry is definitely embracing more uniqueness and different abilities and different ethnicities and everything. And so If I find that dynamite kid who's just ready to go, wants to do this, is like, give me lines, I want to learn this, I want to dive into this, then I know that they're going to have a great future, and hopefully they're
And they
going
got to be excited, right? The child has
Yes.
to have excitement.
Yep.
Oh my God, some parents beat the hell out of them in their minds. Like, you got to do this and you got to do that. And you got to, and again, like you said, they haven't even been on set at all, never
Yep.
been an actor, but they know everything. Nadia, how can young actors and their families build strong professional relationships that support long-term career success?
I think that I think honestly, like we've touched on it a little bit, like acting classes are going to be a great place to start that foundation in meeting your connections. I've told kids this a million times, like the people that you meet today are the ones that are going to be the stars tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have to name drop that one of the people that was in the acting class that Cece and I met in during the time that we were in the acting class. He booked his big series, which was Jorge Garcia on Lost. Like that was a huge deal. Like, and so what, the people that you're like, one day you think, oh, I don't have any connections. Well, everybody is working, right? Everybody is working to make those connections, and your connections and having a positive attitude and keeping those people close in a very real, authentic way. Making those being a good person. You mentioned Conan O'Brien. I think he said something like, "Be nice, and amazing things will happen."
Yep.
And I think that's really what it takes. You can, if you're here for the long haul, you're going to make those connections. It's not about like, oh, I gotta make this connection at a party or this or that. I mean, that's all great and it helps. Like, but we have also the opportunity these days with social media to simply just say hey to people and comment on something that they've done that's great, and reach out and start following all of those directors that you want to work with, and being really aware of the projects that they're working on, being really aware of the projects that you want to work on, people that you want to work with. A great thing that one of my great acting teachers, Richard Lawson, would talk about is he called it like essentially his board of connections, and he would say, okay, I know Nadia knows Cece knows Richard Klein. Okay, so that means if I want to work with Richard Klein, because we were just talking about that, I'm going to call up Nadia. Nadia answers my phone call. I know she does. Like, she'll answer my phone call all day long, right? Nadia talks to Cece all the time, right? So, and I'll be like, hey, you know Richard. And Cece will be like, yeah, I talked to Richard Klein. I'll call up Richard Klein. And it's just because you want to, when you have those kind of connections, I could literally ask Cece for anything at 2:00 in the morning, right? and those are the kind of connections you want. Those are the kind of connections you want to keep, and because you never know what is going to happen, what you're going to see that's being made, and like I said, we're all here to support each other at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you're like consistent about what you want, you're consistent about who you want to work with, you've branded yourself in the right way, it's actually pretty easy to get from, hey, I don't know anybody in the business, to, having a large group of people that are on your side and wanting to make it go right for you.
Yeah. And my old tip is what many people have said to me: always be kind, because the people that you meet on your way up are the same people you're going to meet on your way down.
Yep.
So that's a very good tip. Cece, and then we're going to go into an exciting little topic I'm excited about. What are some common challenges young actors face, and how can a strong support system help navigate them?
Wow, that's a really big question. Starting at a sort of more basic level, time management can be a really big issue. Balancing school, balancing a career, balancing extracurricular activities like sports and student government and whatever else the kids are involved with. So kids learn very early on in this business how to manage their time and how to budget it. On a much bigger scale, there are privacy concerns, there are security concerns for actors of all ages. We obviously take it very seriously for our kids with protecting them. We make sure that nobody knows where they go to school. We make sure that nobody knows, where they live. Many of our clients don't use their legal names. That's for many purposes for that as well. And I think really just understanding that this business, it's sort of twofold. It is a business. Kids are getting paid for it. They get paid the same amount that adults get paid for. So they have to take it seriously, and they are treated somewhat like adults in that sense, but also allowing them to have fun and allowing them to realize that their entire lives do not revolve around their careers, the successes, the jobs that they didn't book, the jobs that they booked when they're on set and they never see that project or they get cut from the project. All of those things are not a reflection of the actor, and especially our young actors. All of those things are much bigger on the production side of what works for that production. And I think keeping a strong mental health is really important for all the kids to understand that their identities are not caught up in this business.
Right. Oh boy, that's a good answer. Now, Nadia and Cece offer Zoom acting classes for both aspiring and also working performers to explore I guess we want to explore what makes your classes unique. So I guess the first question is, we'll go Nadia, since we just succeeded. What unique teaching styles or techniques do you and Cece bring to your Zoom acting classes?
Oh, well, there's quite a few things, actually. One of my favorite things that I love to do is play some improv games that can be done over Zoom. Which is a fun thing that we kind of created. I've adapted live improv games to Zoom. So we'll do what I call a show with commercial breaks. And I have the kids will have sides that have commercials on them. So some kids have sides with commercials on them, and some kids are doing an improv, right? And I'm switching the channels. And I call it like Hulu with ads, right? So we'll go from watching a couple of kids doing an improv scene, and they'll be like, a commercial, and then I'll make I'll point to like one of the kids, and then they have to go right into their sides, so they're practicing their sides on the spot, right? And they'll do their sides, and then we'll be like, oh, thank goodness that show's on again, and then we'll go right back to their improv. Or you know what? I heard there's another show on, and I'll switch the channel, and we'll go and watch another improv taking place like mid. So it's a lot of fun, gets them really warmed up. It's a unique way to keep them active and live and aware of, listening and being right on the ball, and also helping both training and their cold reading skills at the same time.
I love that. I've never heard of that ever. I thought you were going to talk about maybe doing some Uta Hagen exercises or some Viola Spolin games up on the stage. But that's very creative. Whoever came up with that idea, that's extremely creative. I love that. Cece, how do these classes help young performers develop confidence and improve their skills both on and off screen?
Well, we take our positions and our roles very seriously, especially when working with kids. We're very much aware of the impression that we make on all the kids we work with. And, I'm a mom. I understand, the child psychology, I guess, a little bit. And so for that's number one for us, making sure that the kids know that they're doing a great job. And some weeks we all have off weeks. Some weeks we're all on, and the kids understand that too. Sometimes they come to class even on Zoom and they're not feeling like their greatest. And we tell them it's totally okay. You just do your best tonight and we'll move forward with that. In the industry right now, in-person auditions are almost obsolete, and we have jumped and embraced, for the most part, the self-tape phenomenon that's happening, where kids and actors are all submitting self-tapes. Very few casting directors are actually seeing kids or adults, but mostly kids in person anymore, because they can watch it whenever they want. At 2:00 in the morning, they can watch these self-tapes, and they can bring in several hundreds more kids for these auditions. Whereas when it's in person, they've got sort of set number who they can really fit in their schedule. So we train the kids for both of those, for coming in person, even though it's on Zoom, how to make that impression when they come in. And also for the self-tapes, how to have a solid self-tape audition so that when you submit it to the casting directors, it's your best work ever. And that we teach the kids to do that. And then we teach the parents a little bit how to do that too, since they're behind the camera. They're often the readers for the kids. Sometimes our whole families are involved with auditions, so we do have to teach the parents how to act a little bit too. And then at the end of our classes, we usually do a showcase where the kids can invite all of their friends and family, and we'll have hundreds of people on watching this showcase on Zoom, and the kids can show them everything that they've done. And then we invite our casting director friends, our director, producer, writer friends, agent friends to watch the kids. And then they give us their feedback too, or if they're interested in meeting with somebody, we set that up too.
So when you're doing the showcase, do you do that live at a theater, or are they doing it on
it's all on Zoom? Yeah. And we've got kids all over the country who do it. So sometimes like our New York kids are staying up really late for the showcase, and then they get excited. Then they get to miss school the next day. So for them, it's like a win-win-win. But yeah, we do it. We try to do it on Zoom, and we try to pivot in much of the way that the industry did, with doing Zooms and self-tapes, and so many callbacks even now are on Zoom, not even in person. So when we're able to work with the kids and direct them on Zoom, it does prepare them for the real world of the industry.
That's true. Now you got to start classes about what's going to happen when AI takes over everybody's jobs.
No, not going to happen. I refuse.
I hope not. Nadia, what are some key differences between learning acting online versus in a traditional in-person setting?
That's an excellent question. Oh, I could have a whole podcast just on that one. So coming from the theater, Cece's from the theater, we adore and love acting on stage, in a room with people where you can connect with them.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
My background is theater too on the East Coast.
It's in our hearts. It'll live in our hearts forever. And, I think that I would say that there are amazing things about an acting class that's live. It's that connection. It's being able to look in others' eyes. It's all those things. So there's that is one thing that is really hard to get in a Zoom class. However, as we transition and as we are learning about all the ways to make connections online, and because we are training these clients a lot for commercial auditions and film acting, the fact that we get to see instantly what we look like on camera and understand shadows, understand your, how you look on camera, you get to see, oh, you know what, I could do that differently. And you can see that instantaneously because you're looking at yourself, right? And you can make those adjustments. Those are things that we didn't necessarily get when we were doing traditional classes in a theater. So they both have pros. There's no, and I would say they're both amazing. But the thing about this day and age is that you have to have the ability to make those adjustments instantaneously, to see how you are acting, and be able to make those corrections for yourself. And having that ability, because I can see myself right now, I can see when my hair is out of place. I can see, I can see those little things. And also I can see if I can make a different choice that might be more effective, if I need to bring something down. That's something that I think when you're working on stage, like you're playing for a larger audience, your gestures and your emotion just tends to want to reach that last row. And then you get an audition for something that's a procedural that has to be very, very small. And maybe you're just not used to that and you don't know how to bring down those moments. You don't know how to get them really intimate, right? And so having it on camera definitely helps you see that. And I would say that's the pro of having on, everything online now.
Yeah. And I would always, my personal little tip is if I'm going to tell children to do anything, I'm going to say, please start doing theater at a young age, because you are taught in theater, as you know, to project, and you can always bring it down, but people have a harder time projecting and bringing it up. It becomes unnatural. But if they get experience as children doing theater, they're never going to have that problem. Yep. According to Daisy Egan, my Tony-winning award actress friend. Okay, Cece, how do Nadia and Cece support students in preparing for auditions and professional opportunities? How do you guys do it?
So we know, like with NP management kids especially, we know every audition that they have. We sometimes know it before their parents even.
Do you get the breakdowns?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We get the breakdowns, and then we find out we work with different agents. So we're all on the same page. We work with agents who we really work well with. It's very much a team. When we are talking about any client, we'll say, hey, team, whatever client's name it is, just as a reminder, we're always on the same team. And as soon as we get that audition, we're reading through, if we get the entire script, we're reading through the script. We're reading through the sides, which for those who are watching, sides are a portion of the script that we use for auditions. And it can be, back in my day, it could be 10, 15 pages long. But now
the red one, the pink ones and the blue ones.
Oh yeah, the green ones and but SAG-AFTRA has now put a limit on that, especially for first calls, for first auditions. There's a page number, so you're not allowed. Their producers are not allowed to exceed that. But we'll read through it, and then as soon as we see what it is, we're giving wardrobe advice, hair advice. We're looking up the director, we're looking up the producers, we're looking up the writers, we're looking at, if it's a commercial, the product, we're looking at past commercials that, this ad agency has done, past commercials that this casting director has cast. And we're communicating with that, about that with the families, with the parents. A lot of that research, we're saying your child or client needs to look up whatever that is. They need to watch this episode, or they need to watch this film that this director just worked on. And the kids, as soon as they find out about it, they get to work. They get to work on creating their characters. They get to work on memorization. They get to work on finding their wardrobe and sending us pictures. Does this work? No. Does this work? No. Does this work? That's the one. That's perfect. That's perfect hairstyle. We will coach the kids. Most of the time for theatricals, we will coach the kids before they even start filming their self-tape. And once they film the self-tape, they send us all the takes that they've done, and we either pick the best ones, or we say, oh, you're so close, but imagine this character was in the library instead of at Dodger Stadium or whatever. It changes the tone, it changes the perspective of the kids. So it's a very long process from beginning to end. And when we're able to, we get feedback from the casting directors. Doesn't always happen. A lot of casting directors will just say, yep, we got it. Thanks. And we say, okay, that's
great job. Thanks.
Yeah. Very helpful.
I have so many casting director friends, and sometimes, not now, but pre-COVID, I'd go over because we'd be meeting for lunch, and I'm watching the castings, and here's what I heard. Great job. Thanks. Great job. Thanks. Great job. Thanks. I said, well, don't you give them any kind of advice? I mean, aren't you going to tell? And they said, well, sometimes we'll give them notes and say, well, let's do it a different way. But we got too many people to see. We can't do that. And that's what I love that you're saying, because a casting director is not there. A lot of people don't understand this who aren't in the business. They're not there to give you acting lessons.
Yep.
When you come in to an audition, you need to know how to act.
Yep.
If a lot of people are so desperate, Cece and Nadia, as you know, I want to get an agent. I want to get an agent. They come out here and they think, if I get an agent, I'll be walking down the red carpet in 2 days.
Yep.
And they think the agent is like the God. But I would always say, try to get a manager first, because like you're explaining, you are coaching and you're personalizing and you're teaching. And I believe you're a boutique agency, which I would always recommend to go to, which if you're just coming out here, you probably are going to be lucky if you get someone who wants to manage you. But you are offering all of these services that if a kid comes out, and we've seen it before, gorgeous child, oh my God, the camera loves the child, they go directly to agent, right? Because the agent wants to get them out there and book them. And they miss out a lot on the manager process because they are not learning, the business etiquette and how to do this and how to do that. And the agent, if you don't book it after, they'll send you out maybe, I don't know what it is now, but maybe 3-5 times. If you don't book it, doesn't care what the hell you look like, they're going to cut you from the client roster. That's just how it works. And I say to my friends, why do you do that? Oh my God, he's so cute. Oh, he's gorgeous. He doesn't know anything about the business. He wasn't taught anything. He doesn't know about on-set etiquette. I don't care how gorgeous he is. There's 20,000 people right behind him that will know on-set etiquette, that will know, and doesn't have a parent that's coming in and driving us crazy. Recently there, and this is for the children, hopefully listen to, I won't give away the project, but huge shooting out of Canada. Had this guy on, beautiful guy. Oh my God. Let me tell you, there was just muscles all over the place. And I think he had a 12 or 18 pack ab. I'm like, ooh. So what do I do? Because I'm always trying to help everybody. And I referred him to a friend of mine who, again, I hate to say A-list casting director, but that's what he is. And I said, I do not know this guy, never met him. His agent contacted me, sent me the pictures. I saw a demo reel. I think he's a very good actor. What happens, Nadia and Cece? So I have him on the show, and oh God, I can't tell too much. Then they'll know what show. Okay, all right. Let's just say this: my friend, who's the A-list casting director, said, "Oh, Priscilla, by the way, I looked up this person, and his manager is da 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 da. I absolutely will never work with this guy. He's an asshole." And so I want you to touch on how important it is to get along with these casting directors, producers, director. And this guy has missed out through no fault of his own on an opportunity because he's with a person who the casting directors do not like. Not like him because he isn't, they say, now I can't verify. I don't know the man. He just booked his client on my show. I've never met him. But from what I'm hearing, they do not like him because they say he's arrogant, pompous, rude, obnoxious, and unprofessional. And that poor boy is missing out on being cast for a huge project in Canada, like huge. And it's all because of, so talk about that, how important it is to tell the parents and the children, be careful who you hook up with as your managers and agents. You got to vet them and find out what are the people saying about them in the business.
That's very true. And not only that, but I always
Mhm.
tell our families, like, when they do get the opportunity to go to like an in-person audition or producer session or whatever, the audition starts when you park the car. Sometimes it starts 2 miles ago before you parked the car, because when you get out of your car and that person who's standing next to you and you're mad because maybe they took the space that you wanted, you just,
Mhm.
oh, I'm glad you got a great space today. It's your lucky day. And you walk out and you walk into the office. That happened to me quite
Ugh.
a few times, where somebody would be walking down the street, and my mom growing up would be like, smile, when we're waiting for
Yeah.
the crosswalk
Right.
sign to change. If you see somebody there and if they talk to you, you smile back, and
Right.
you don't have to, I mean, they're not asking for your address if they're just saying, "Oh, hello," and "Hi, how
Yeah.
are you?" Like, it starts there. When you walk into the office, people don't understand that there's people inside the waiting room watching them. There's
Always.
sometimes people just sitting there who are planters, who are just
Always.
trying to see, like, what is this parent like? What is this kid like? Sometimes it's the receptionist.
Yes,
So-
always. And don't gossip in the waiting
exactly.
room
Yep.
because people are always watching you. I can't tell you how many casting directors and their assistants say, "Oh my God, these all they did. Who do I know? What did I do?" And then they talk about the stars on the set. About I remember specifically Huge Star and the girl who was auditioning for this movie was sitting out in the waiting room talking about, "Oh my God, can you believe how many freckles she has? Oh my God, and that red hair." And the casting people, the assistant was right there and went and told the cast director she lost out on the opportunity.
Wow.
And so you can't be gossiping.
Nope.
Just focus on your, oh, they don't even bring people anymore. What am I talking about? That's how old I am, Cece and Nadia. I'm talking about when you go into the casting office. I don't know. Thank God I might cut out the gossiping but on the set too. Once they get cast, don't be doing that. Don't participate in gossip. Okay, last question, and we're gonna bring the kitties on. Or
Yay.
who went last? Was it Cece or Nadia?
I went last. It's your
Okay,
turn.
Nadia. Last question. What advice do they have for? What advice do you have for young performers looking to grow in their careers while staying true to themselves in their under social peer pressure?
One more time with the question.
Oh, what advice do you have for young performers looking to grow in their careers while staying true to themselves, right? But specifically, a lot of times, actors, if they get on a hit show and they still have to go to a regular school, um, there's a lot of peer pressure. And you can be pulled in a lot of directions as a child. So, what do you, as managers, tell your kids? How do you fend off that peer pressure?
So basically the reason why I had to hear that twice is like kind of a two-part question. Um, if you want a career in this business, it's really important for you to have, just like any business, sort of your 5-year plan, right?
Yeah.
And to look ahead and go, okay, I am this age right now, but I really enjoy those movies of this one actor who's about 5 years older than I am, right? And what is that actor doing right now? And could I do the same kind of roles as they're doing, right? And so you want to kind of be looking ahead and having those models of how you want to have your trajectory of your career. And I think when you have kind of a model of what you're going for, it's going to keep you focused and keep you on that track.
Right.
As far as like going back to school and the peer pressures of school, there's going to be, I mean, at least for me, you know, in school, if you have a passion for something, it's going to be very easy to keep yourself away from, because you're going to be busy. I mean, honestly, these kids are very, very busy.
Yeah.
They have active social lives, but they're in dance class, they're in acting class, they're in voice class, they're, practicing for their auditions. They have their friends that are other actors, and then they have their friends at school, but you don't have a lot of time to be like, I like distracted by what you're talking about, which is the peer pressure that kind of comes
Right.
with not having a lot to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, just if you have a focus for your career, then it's going to keep you on that path. And having that focus that is looking ahead is going to keep you on that path. And then, you know, when you go to school, you have things to talk about. You're with your friends, you're doing other things. You might be playing a sport or, you know, or something that's different. But as far as like negative peer pressures, you just don't have the time, you know.
What about us hearing about so many what is it called, bullying, social media bullying? What advice do you give the kids, because a lot of people like to pick on kids, especially in the world of performance?
I tell people not to read anything about themselves online. Don't read reviews, because if you read the good reviews and you believe those, then you've got to read the bad reviews and believe those. So just don't read anything. Don't read anything that people are writing about you. You know, a lot of our kids do have their separate private social media accounts, and I say keep it like that. You know, just kind of keep your head down and keep your eyes forward in terms of your own career. But I also think that it's really important to have other activities going on in their lives. I grew up with a lot of people. There's a period of time where people who I grew up with were having a lot of issues with drug abuse. And I lost a very close friend to an overdose, who was a very successful child actor, was phenomenal. And when he became an adult, he realized he didn't have anything else to fall back on. He didn't have any other activities that kind of kept him grounded. And I think that's a really important thing, both on the parent side and on the kid side, to find those things that are not financially related. You know, they're doing extracurriculars where they're not getting paid for, they're not going to be the breadwinner of the family, you know, and to have other passions, whatever they are, if it's horseback riding or water polo or crocheting or whatever it is, you know, to find those passions, because that does keep you grounded, where you're not just an actor. I was talking to Nadia last week, and Nadia had I had never heard this, but I thought of it when she talked about Richard Lawson, who, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Priscilla, but he was Beyonce's stepfather. Richard Lawson, who was the old acting coach who Nadia was referencing. But Nadia said something really interesting about stage names that I thought, I had never thought of it that way. But Nadia, I think you should tell it, because
so Richard Lawson, you know, he came into this business and talking about reading reviews and everything, and he kept his name. That's his birth name. Right? So he would see all these amazing reviews. I mean, like, Richard Lawson is so handsome. Richard Lawson on Dynasty. Look at Richard Lawson. We want to, look at Paul May. And then it was Richard Lawson gained a few pounds. And it was very hurtful to him personally. And he said, I wish I had chosen a stage name, because then I could put that product over here and I could adjust the product and be like, oh, they're talking about this product named Dan Lewis. Whatever it is. So and then the product is something that's a little bit disconnected from you, and you can look at it and you can see it as something that's different from who you are personally. And when we talk about like having something like an extracurricular activity that you're not getting paid for or something like that, that's you doing that. That's for yourself. And the actor is this different kind of entity that goes and does that job. And so you can keep it separate. So if you are going to read a review, you can look at it a little bit more objectively and it's not as personal. And I think that's a great lesson. It definitely, I did think about that a lot when I was choosing how I was going to look at my career and the name that I was going to choose. When I was a kid, they used to call me Sewage because my last name sounded slightly like sewage. So when I would slate my name, I would be like Nadia Sugic. And I can't do that. I can't. That's not how I can say my name. By the way, we have never said what a slate was for those people. A slate is when you say your name to the camera. Hi, my name is Nadia Witt. And as you can see, I smile when I say Witt. And I can't not smile because that's the way your lips have to go. So I chose that because it was going to help me with my slate. It was going to give me a kind of a product that I could separate from myself, from that kid who was teased and all the things. And now all of a sudden I became the professional. That professional is going to go out in the world and do these particular things. And then if there's a review, I can look at it objectively.
Very interesting. I am going to look into that. I'm going to research that further because I'm being told by so many people in the business to always go with your name and to brand yourself by your name. So that's interesting. I'm gonna look that up. Because now, okay, now we're good. Oh, I'm so excited because now we get to talk about. We need to introduce the actors. So these are some of your clients, and we're gonna start with Tessa and Imani, because you said that they became best friends after meeting in acting class. So I love that. Now, Tessa Inez is a 12-year-old award-winning actor who starred in numerous, let's put her picture up, Albert. If he doesn't know which one to put up, he probably doesn't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So 12-year-old Tessa Inez is an award-winning actor and has starred in numerous commercial, film, and voiceover productions. None of these are Tessa.
She's got the long dark hair.
Which one is she? The one with the curly hair, or the long with the blue eyes and the long hair?
No, the dark hair and brown eyes.
And the curly hair.
Yes, and she was in Grimm, and I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Let's show her picture. She's a real pretty girl with they're all pretty, but the one with the curly hair. Can we show her? I always when I'm doing their bios, I like to have their pictures. But again, there's so many people. The poor guy doesn't know who the heck to put up. All right. So,
and her name is
on. When she comes on,
they're labeled.
Yeah. When she comes on, we'll know. Okay. So,
and Priscilla, just to not to correct you, but her name is Tessa Inez.
Oh, Inez, thank you. Tessa Inez, and her performance in Grimm gained her worldwide attention as she won awards for Best Young Actress in multiple international film festivals. Her resume is currently this is so cool. I love whoever wrote this. Her resume is one giant NDA. Now, you know you've reached fame when you're signing NDAs. Now that's success. Due to all of her upcoming projects, and I guess you're eagerly awaiting the permission from a major studio to announce Tessa's newest series in which she stars. Has that happened yet? Can you do that or no?
We can't say anything yet. Okay. Sometime over the next month, we believe we're going to be able to. We were really hoping. I was really hoping for today. I had this said that we would get the permission and then we would be able to announce it on your show, but we haven't got that yet.
Ever. And go to her Instagram, and her Instagram is Tessa_Inez _official. So, and then also, I wonder if we're gonna. Let's introduce Imani. I hope I got it right. Imani Moss Bias?
Yes, Imani Moss Bias. Yes.
Bias? Okay. Yep. Woo! All right, need some language classes. All right. So she is an 11-year-old who moved to Los Angeles from Texas after DMP management discovered her and knew she would have a very successful career. And this is so impressive. My God. Imani has starred in ABC's Abbott Elementary. I have 4 of my actor friends who say, Priscilla, can't you get me on? What do I do? I'm not a casting director. They want to be on Abbott Elementary. Is that still on?
Oh, it's still on, yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it. And she also recurs on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I'm wondering what she does on Jimmy Kimmel Live as a recurring actor. We're going to find out. And she stars in the film Beautiful and several national commercials. Imani is also an award-winning dancer, which she does both professionally and competitively. Oh, I love competitive dancing. I watch it all the time. I like competitive cheer and competitive dancing. And she is on Instagram at IMANIMOSSBYAS. So without further ado, good luck, Albert, trying to find Imani and Tessa. Well, maybe we could bring them on and then Cece can say yes, no, yes, no.
They're the girls who are together. So luckily they're sitting together.
They're together. Okay, so find bring on the 2 girls that are together. Imani and where are those? There they are! Oh my God! Oh, you're so cute! Oh my gosh, aren't they adorable? So I can totally see them doing a Disney, a show on Disney right now. Am I right?
They are both on the radar at Disney and Nickelodeon. I mean, they've just blown the roof off of those studios where casting directors absolutely love them. And they've, across the board with both Imani and Tessa, they've said once a role comes on that they're absolutely perfect for, it's theirs. So you're right on with that.
Oh, they're precious. Aren't they just gorgeous? 2 gorgeous little things. So I'm sure you girls have tuned in, and I hope these questions are not too intense, but if they are, then Cece or Nadia can take over. But a rarely discussed topic in the industry is supportive friendships. And in such a competitive business like the entertainment industry, you, Tessa and Imani, are a great example of this. So my first question, and we'll start with Imani and then we'll go Tessa. So in such a competitive industry, how can young performers such as yourselves cultivate genuine friendships like you 2 have that support your growth instead of fostering rivalry amongst you?
Well, I think it's really cool because sometimes me and Tessa go for the same roles, and sometimes we even do auditions together, which have been really, really fun because it just gives an even bigger an excuse to go see Tessa. I go see, and when Tessa books a role that I go for, I'm really happy for Tessa because I know that me and Tessa are on the same team, and that if she wins, that I win too, and if I win, she wins too. And also, I think it's a learning experience, and me and Tessa are very similar in different ways, but also we are very different in different ways. So I know that a little bit of the character, if it's like more Tessa than me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's way more Tessa. And I'm very happy for Tessa. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think about that, Tessa?
Everything you just said, definitely.
Ditto. Right? I think you 2 think alike. You 2 are on the same, it's like one brain. But
yes,
and that's a great way to be. Now, Tessa, what role do you think friendships play in helping child actors kind of navigate the emotional challenges like auditions and those darn rejections and career pressures? What do you think?
I think that friendships are really important, and it's really good to have someone that I can just text like, oh my gosh, another audition where I had to do this one thing that I really don't like doing, and to just, I mean, we end up talking about cats the entire time.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
What Imani said, like if we're going for the same role, it's really cool to see like, even like if it's a self-tape or something, to see like her recording and to see like how she did it, and it's like, oh yeah, and to like learn from her too, because you're incredible, Imani. Thank you.
Oh my God, the love coming off of these two. Oh my God, I want to just book them to just spend the day with me. I want to hire them. I can hire you to be my children. Now, Imani, Imani, have you seen any examples of young actors kind of forming other long-forming relationships like you two have that positively impacted their careers? Like, have you seen that other than you two? And what makes that relationship successful, do you think?
Well, I thought a really cool relationship was the girl who plays Maleficent and her sister, because they talk a lot about the same exact things that me and Tessa does. And cats. And we both are like, oh yeah, that looks like her. Oh yeah, that really sounds like her. And I feel like they're really successful because that they look like we sound a lot alike, like me and Tessa. And I feel like it's nice to have a relationship with Tessa because we know what we're like. We know the exact same things that we're going to. Yes. Like, I can't just say to my science teacher, oh, yeah, I got another audition. Yeah, I had to eat peanut butter. Oh, yeah. I can say to Tessa, oh, yeah, I got another audition. I love peanut butter, and I have to eat peanut butter. My science teacher wouldn't get that.
Now, let me ask, this question goes for both of you. I know you're so much alike and you enjoy being together so much. Do you share, and I'm sure you talked about it, but do you share the same goals and career path? Or say, for example, do one of you want to become a film actress and the other one says, no, I'd rather do TV? Or, what are your, say, 5-year goals?
Pretty similar. I like both like film and TV and on camera and voiceover, but I definitely do like voiceover a little bit more, very slightly.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just put flip-flops on, put your hair up, and 45 minutes, boom, almost $1,000. I love it, right? Yeah, voiceovers are fun, and you can take advantage of that. A lot of child actors need to focus on using their child voices because you're not going to have them past 13, 14. They're just going to change, right? So, and so eventually, now let's start with Tessa. Tessa, if you could have your ultimate dream role, like not now, but maybe as an adult actress, what type of role is most exciting for you to think about playing?
Two things that are actually on the screen right now. Imani, I want to do something with her, and Imani's cat is here. Definitely something with the cat.
Oh, wow, that's a cat. I think that's a bear. That's a baby cub. That thing is huge. You can use that as a coat between the two of you, right? It's so huge. But like, for example, a lot of kids say, oh, I would love, when I grow up, I think my dream role would be to play Maleficent in a Disney movie. So is that something you'd be interested in, playing like a cartoon? I'm not a cartoon character. What are they called? Cece and Nadia.
Like a live action film?
Yeah, like a live action film. Yeah, like Snow White, or is a role, or do you want to be in a soap opera star, or do you want to be like a star on a TV series, or do you want to be like a star in an action film? because women are kicking butt now
Oh yeah.
in the action world. So what do you think? And that question goes for both of you. What would you want to ask her for? That's the question. Yes. All right.
I think I know.
Okay.
You know what I'm already gonna say.
I know what you're gonna say.
What do you think I'm gonna say, Tessa?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Of course. I wanted.
Yes.
I had a dream about me just being in like some sci-fi action movie where I do my own stunts, because I'm a dancer and I can do a lot of cool tricks. Like I can do backflips and I can do aerials and a lot of stuff. So I thought like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy would be
Yeah. Yeah. Now we got to keep it going. I think they just had the last one. We got to resurrect it just for you to play a super action hero.
Yeah.
But there is the whole new Avengers. We went to see Thunderbolts last weekend, and there's like a whole new crop of Avengers coming out, and Florence Pugh is kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, same for who did we get that answer from?
Me.
That was Imani.
Sorry, what about you, Tessa? Same
I
thing?
don't really have a specific like TV or movie or something, but I want to do something where I can build like a unique character. I don't want to play like the young version of a different character, or like even the older version of a different character, or a character that already exists. I want to be able to make my own character, preferably in like a world similar to ours, but like a little different, like a little bit fantasy.
Yeah, different dimension. Like
Yes.
what they did when they I don't think there was a show prior to Supergirl, but Supergirl, right? There was no show prior to that, but that's an original character. Oh my God, that's fantastic. What do you, now one of the things that people recommend to children, to actually all actors, is to build up your tool set, your skill set, right? Because you never know when you have to be prepared. Even children, which I think, oh my God, it's so dangerous to be having them wielding katana swords, but they're asking for children to have many skills, like be able to do parkour or do sword fighting. They're asking that now. What are your feelings on that? Are you up for it or what?
I'm
Yeah.
definitely up for it.
Sword, I'm ready.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Training for someone actually cuts his head off, but
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that you have so many opportunities as a child actor, well, as an actor in general, especially when you get cast for the big projects, because do you know how much money it would cost to learn how to do parkour, or to learn how to sword fight, or to learn how to do any type of action? And they teach you for free. You get to learn all these skills, girls, for free. Isn't that great? What a great business.
Yes.
Okay, last question before we move on to our next set of lovelies. Okay, so I know this is going to be draining to ask you this, and it's going to require thought, right? But at the end of your very successful careers, like you're talking old now, you're in your 60s, 50s or 60s, what would be, or have you thought that far? Like, would you want to do, say, a Shakespeare play, or what would be the ultimate dream role of you as an older actor? What is your dream role?
I already know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go.
So I think it's really cool when you have a character who does not look like they would do something that another character would do. Like, I could be an old grandma, but I could also start a fire. Like, I could be an old granny, but I could pull out a katana. Like, I want to be someone's grandma, but I
Yes.
could, like, have like a katana could be like,
Yes. Like that movie Everywhere, Every Day, All at Once, or whatever that was called, with Michelle Yeoh, who swept at the Oscar. Grandma kicking butt in the closet. Absolutely. What about you, Tessa?
haven't given it much thought, but off the top of my head, I want maybe, and this will probably be voiceover, but I want to be a cat.
A cat? Wow.
Anytime, but I want to be a cat.
A cat, I can see it. You got to do more theater classes and be a tree first, and then a leaf, and then you got to be an animal. They require you to do really crazy things in theater acting. Oh my God. So very exciting. You two seem like you are on it. You are ready for things. What are you most excited about? Like now, like coming up, without mentioning any of these projects, what are you excited about?
I'm really excited. Like you said earlier, my resume is one big massive NDA, so I'm excited for those to come out and to tell. Like I was telling like my teacher the other day, she was like, "So have you done anything lately?" Yes, and I'll tell you in a few months.
I love it. What about you, Amani? What are you excited about on the horizon?
I'm very excited about getting new headshots. I just got new headshots, but I think they're really cool. And also, I'm really excited about I can do dance photo shoots, and I have one, and it's coming out, and it's very cool.
Oh.
And let's just say I was very, 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 very excited for this one. And also, Tessa, like you said, that it's kind of crazy because we can't tell our friends.
I know. Doesn't that suck? You're like, I'm going to be on this. You want to go? I want to be on this. Oh, my God. But you can't do it. Discipline, girl.
On anything. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, but I can't tell you about that.
No, you can't. But that's all right because you get to invite everybody to the, I assume, when it comes out, you'll do a big announcement, right? And then they'll all get to see it, and that's going to be fun because that's all kinds of energy coming at you. So that's something to look forward to. Well, I'm excited, girls. I swear I'm going to be looking for you. I'm following you, and I'm going to refer you. I'm going to refer you to the casting directors. All right. Oh, what are they drinking? What is that? I can't see that. What's it say? I wish we could zoom in on that, but something says cat.
This one says, my cat was right about you. And then this one says, you're perfect.
Oh my God. Naughty and Cece, these two. I want to clone them and have them with me all the time. They are, and you can tell that they have the perfect on-set etiquette, right? Yep. They're professional, they're funny, they're high energy, they're easy to get along with. I'm hoping the parents keep them like that.
Their parents are also great. I want to give props to their parents too. They are like just amazing to work with and so professional, and they listen to everything that we say, and they're just I talk to both of their moms like daily, and I love it. I love their families so much.
It's so good that you have personal relationships. Oh yeah. Very important. Let me ask my tech guy. Tech guy, did you have a video? Because I know that we only had 2 videos, but wasn't Amani in one of them? Oh, let's show Amani's video before we let her go, because I think we could only find 2 videos on Instagram. One was Amani, and then one was, I believe, Orion Tran. So we only the 2. But let's just see a clip for Amani. Let's show Amani, and then when we come back, we're going to move on to Shane Soloria. But Amani, let's look at you again and again and again and again. Okay, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, this is a Jazzy Fizzle production. The princess is here. This beat is
automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh. With my body so melodic, this beat rolls right through my chest. Everybody, Martin, Poppy came to party. Grab somebody, work your body. Let me see you 1, 2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Bring the make you crave it. Jazzy made it. So retarded, top charted. Ever since the day I started, struck my stuff and yes I flaunt it. Goodies make the boys jump on it. No, I can't control myself now. Let me do my 1-2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Crank the party up. We about to get it on. Let me see it. 1-2 step. I love it. 1-2 step. Everybody 1-2 step. We about to get it on. It don't matter to me. We can dance slow. Whichever way the beat drop, our bodies will slow. Swing it over here, Mr. DJ, and we will rock you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my God, I think I pulled something trying to do that move. Something's happening on the right side. I was trying to do that move because you were so energetic and I wanted to like bust a move over here and something pulled, but I'm going to carry on. Wow, that was fantastic. God, wow, what a great dancer. Oh my God, I wanted to do the backflip. Oh, what show was that on, Amani?
That was actually not on a show, but it was on a competition. That was some clips of me going to some competitions and doing my solos, and I was very happy.
Oh my God, it looked fantastic. You're a great dancer. Oh, Lord, girl, you got a career going on. Oh my God. Well, thank you two girls for being on and thank you for your patience. And I wish you the very best of luck. And please, when you get stuff that you're going to be on, shoot me. Well, have your people shoot me the information so I can promote it so we can all watch you. Okay.
Thank you. It was
Thank
so
you, girls. Thank you. Now you can go to bed so your parents don't get mad at me.
Yes, this was amazing.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, girls.
Oh my God, they're lovable.
I
Aren't
know.
they precious? Oh, you lucked out with those two.
I
Wow.
know.
Oh, you really did. Well, we are moving on. Let's see. Let's talk about the hard work that is required for young performers before and during their careers. So we're now going to introduce Shane Soloria. Is it Shane Soloria? Now, let me tell you a little bit about him. Shane just turned 18. Oh, you're almost into adulthood with your clients. Oh, by the way, do you have a cutoff age? Do you just focus on children and teens, or?
We don't really. It's funny. I was asked this yesterday. I get asked this a lot, and we will carry our young talent into adulthood as long as they want to stay in the business and as long as we're happy with the team on both sides. So, I mean, and sometimes we have multiple generations. So like last year, a mom called us whose kids we had represented years ago, and those kids are now grown up, and they want to get back into the business, and they want to get their kids into the business too. So, and then the grandmother also wants to get into it. So we might be doing our first 3-generation family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, keep it going. You move into the senior circuit. Right? I'm gonna volunteer. Okay, so Shane Soloria just turned 18, and his career is both unique and fascinating. In 2020, oh, the height of pandemic, Shane was booked to star on Broadway in Disney's The Lion King as young Simba. And we all know what happened in March 2020, of course. And just 2 weeks before Shane and his family were set to move to New York, the world and Broadway shut down. No! Shane's story is one of resilience and hard work, and he is a true multi-hyphenate. We're all multi-hyphenates, but he's a singer, a dancer, an actor, a musician. And here's what's interesting.
I know what you're going to say.
A self-taught ventriloquist. What children take up that these days? That's such a unique, powerful skill to have and to teach himself. My God, that takes patience. Wow. I'm just blown away with that. He has appeared on Nickelodeon's The Loud House and Disney's films Wish, and his singing voice will bring me to tears. You said that he'd be happy to sing on the podcast, so and his choreography career is off to an amazing start. I wonder what he's doing. Shane has great stories of his career and can talk extensively, and we're going to ask some questions. His Instagram is Instagram.com. See, this makes me feel happy. Shane Soloria. At Shane Soloria. ShaneSeloria. And without further ado, let's bring Shane Soloria on. Now, Albert, you can match the pit. There is that little cutie. Wow, what a hot guy. I didn't want to tell the girls that my husband is Asian. I have a great love for the Asian man. So I am finding him to be quite attractive. I need to look away. So thank you so much, Shane, for coming on the show. Booming career happening. Oh my God. Did you ever get to, what about the Broadway show? Did they ever bring it back and bring you back, or did they not even continue with that?
So they did, of course, bring the show back, but unfortunately they didn't bring me back. We actually emailed the casting directors, and we asked them if it was still possible for me to do it. Unfortunately, they said no. I was too big, and I'd grown too much for the role.
You've grown.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you can do it. You can. Well, maybe you might not want to do it anymore. So forget it. We're on the move thing. Shane, what are some demanding aspects of training and preparation for young performers before they start their careers? Like, what did you have to do? Like, what did your training consist of? Because you got all these skills. You got the ventriloquist, Andrew McCarthy thing popping up, and you got. Tell me what did you do?
It's a lot. It's a lot of I asked my parents to sign me up for a lot of lessons. I took piano lessons when I was little. I did a lot of athletics as well. So I practiced after school for swimming and more recently dance. So it's a lot physically, but it's also a lot mentally because you have to remember all these things. There's just so much to learn, but I was able to work hard and get through it all.
Is that because you really have a great passion for being an entertainer? And if so, I don't want to lock you into a 1, 2, 3, but what's the first love, the second love, and the third love?
Well, I mean,
acting, dancing, singing, acting, ventriloquist. It's hard, isn't it?
It's so hard. It's so hard. I think
fun.
Yeah, I think right now I really have the most fun in dancing. Because it's so like I just recently got into it and started taking it seriously. So right now it's really tugging at my heartstrings right now.
And so, what type of dancing? What do you do? Jazz?
I do hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Wow. There's always a role for a hip hop dancer.
Yep.
A lot of music videos, right? Have you done a lot of music videos?
I've done a couple.
You like it? You like it a lot?
Yeah, it's super fun. It's super cool. Just being in the environment, also just seeing the artists, and just meeting them in person, which is really cool.
And who's your favorite hip hop star?
Right now, I think I'll say in terms of music videos that I've done, probably Logic.
Logic.
Yeah.
Okay. That Logic. And Shane, how do you think that young actors who are also singers and dancers and athletes, how do they balance? Because I know you must have like a rigorous schedule. How do you balance that rigorous schedule with school and in your personal life and pursuing success? Now, you are obviously drop dead gorgeous because you know my affinity for Asian men. My husband is My husband's Asian. And my mother said, I knew you were going to end up marrying an Asian man because your first love was Bruce Lee. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
But, okay. So how do you you must have the girls you're beating off with a bat. Get the hell away from me. My career is the most important. You're beating the girls off, and then you got to go to the classes for training. How do you do it? Because you're still young.
Yeah.
How do you get that discipline?
Just as you said, it's a lot of discipline. I picked up a schedule over quarantine because that's when I had like the most amount of free time, and that's when I used that time to just hone my talents and my crafts. So I just created a schedule of just like practicing on my talents, doing schoolwork, and especially having time for myself, because if I'm too stuck up on my homework or my instruments and stuff like that, I can get very, very easily burnt out, which is something that I've learned is really bad.
Yeah. And did you learn how to create a schedule from your parents, or is it something within you that's innate that it comes easy?
Well, I mean, it's just a bunch of trial and error because sometimes things like didn't work out. I get distracted. So of course, with guidance from my parents and just over time, I've perfected this schedule that I currently use today. Yeah.
So you're currently doing acting classes, and then you're doing dance classes. And what else? What other classes?
Well, I mean, mostly because school season has been really, really tough on me. I've stopped some of the lessons, but I still do regularly play the piano, play my guitar, play the drums, and sing on a daily basis. So I still keep in touch with everything.
And the singing, is that hip hop?
It's like it's more musical theater and like pop based.
Okay. Yeah. One of my favorite, and you're too young to know who they are, but you may, because you seem very intelligent. One of my favorite hip hop groups was a girl group from the 80s called Salt and Pepper. And Cece and Nadi, you know what I'm talking about. Yo.
You have good taste.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was one of the favorites. I was at the club, just Salt and Pepper everywhere. They were a famous girl hip hop group back in the day. And I was wondering if you could be cast in a current music video or of any kind, whether it's musical or hip hop, who would it be and why?
Let me think. I think K-pop is really, really big right now. Yeah. So I feel like that is just one of my goals. Just to like be a dancer in it, because that's just a really cool experience that I want to be in.
Yeah. What's that hot group BTS, right?
Yeah, BTS. Yeah.
Are they still around? I don't know. It's been
they're still around, but some of the members are in military, like the mandatory military enlistment thing for Korea. But they're coming back literally this year over the summer. So can't wait for that.
They are.
Yeah.
Because my obsession was One Direction.
Yes.
And I love them. And BTS was kind of popular, I guess, during their reign. And now what is going on with you going outside the norm and teaching yourself how to be a ventriloquist? That is so cool. Why did you decide to do that? Did you always have a great love of being a ventriloquist?
Well, I mean, when I taught myself this back, I was in elementary school. I was really young, so I was just very open to learning a lot of things. And I was watching America's Got Talent, and I saw Paul Zerden. He was a winner. I forgot what season. I think it was like season 10. And I was watching him. I was like, dang, that's really, really cool. Because at the time, it wasn't popular. So yeah. So I went on YouTube later that night and literally taught myself. I watched the YouTube video, and then I went into my parents' room, and I was like, hey, Mom, Dad, look at this. Isn't this really cool? It's super cool, no?
Yeah. Oh my God, so you do voices.
Yeah.
You now can add to your resume, and you can do voiceovers. Do you do voiceovers for animated?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, the most famous guy, and I can't remember his name. He was a ventriloquist. I think he won.
Terry Fader? Was it Terry
No,
Fader?
this
Oh
was
no.
as a lot. They were talking the beginning, but he's in Vegas. He has a residency in Vegas, and we went to see him. Oh my God, he was phenomenal. He was standing, and then he was in the receiving line after we saw the show,
Mhm.
and he started talking to me, and his mouth wasn't moving. And well, I just thought for sure it would be like
Yeah, no.
that thing. There was nothing, and it sounded like normal comic. I thought his name was no, it wasn't Vader. God darn it. Well, I'll be prepared next time I talk to you. But how do you find? Are you getting any gigs with the ventriloquist thing, or is that something that you can put on your skill set?
Yeah,
section?
I actually do perform for I perform for the city of Bellflower and like local cities. I also perform for birthday parties. So I have a business card, so I just hand it out to people who are interested in me, and they call me, email me, and just be like, "Oh yeah, can we book you for this day, 30 minutes to like an hour, and yeah, show up, do my thing."
I'm excited because I have epic events, birthday parties, and I hire in one night at my birthday party. You will see well, I can't say burlesque dancer. Okay, you'll see a Bollywood dancing. That was only one time the burlesque dance. That was for my husband. But in one night, you can see the Bollywood. I hire Bollywood dancers, an Elvis impersonator, a magic act. It's like a whole Las Vegas review. I'm hiring you. Can I hire you?
Of course.
I'm going to contact the girls, Cece and Nadia. I'm going to book them.
Okay, as long as we're invited.
Oh yeah! Oh, my parties are epic. They're really fun. But that's a great skill. So now, what is your? I'm going to address this question to you too, because I'm always interested in what the young people want to do or what they see themselves doing. What is your dream role? It doesn't have to be like, Darth Vader, but playing a doctor, a lawyer, what would you really love to play before the end of your career as an actor?
I think I would like to tap back into the musical theater aspect of my life, just because I wasn't able to go. Yeah, I wasn't able to go back in 2020. So maybe a lead role on Hamilton as like Aaron Burr, or Evan Hansen on Dear Evan Hansen. Those are like my top two shows that I really have a strong connection to, and would love to be a part of that amazing cast.
Yeah, one of my very good friends, Jonathan, his sister is a Broadway producer, and she was telling me how devastated. So it wasn't just you, devastated at all the people that had been cast to appear in shows in 2020, and they did not recast anybody that was cast before, because, like you said, Shane, everybody had.
It changed.
They changed. There were a couple exceptions with the old people, because how old can you get in 3 years? But you know what I'm saying. But so music theater is something we can look forward to buying a ticket to on Broadway, right, Shane?
Yes, of course.
Unbelievable. Cece and Nadia, this boy's got it going on. He's got his priorities. He's so mature. He's still got his front office looks. I tell you, Shane, I'm so excited to hear about your career. And I think these two ladies really have their clients' best interest. So I would stay with them for a long time.
And I will.
We're never going to let him go. I mean,
don't let him go.
He's going to be like 90, and he's still going to
be. Yes, he's going to be doing.
Priscilla, you have to hear him sing. Like
yes. Okay. Shane, is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Give me something if you don't mind.
Of course. Let me think. Okay. I'll just do a little bit. And I'll be here, 'cause we both know how it goes. I don't want things to change. Pray they stay the same always. And I don't care if you're with somebody else. I'll give you time and space. Just know I'm not a phase. I'm always, ways. Yeah.
Oh my God! Is there nothing this boy can't do? And he's got like the modern sound that all the kids have. You know, it's not the Elvis or the Beatles or every decade has its own sound with the young kids. Oh my God! Now have you girls thought of maybe having him do what they call them albums or? Does he write? Do you write your own music, Shane? Or
I do write my own music, but I don't have like the confidence to like publish it yet. So I've been in the labs. I've been working on some stuff. So and I'm pushing it out soon. So
we've got our people in the music industry who are very aware of Shane.
Are you putting your songs on YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube that I post covers on, but
covers, right?
I think recently or soon I want to start publishing like my own songs and my own works.
Yes, but look how many people were discovered with doing covers. Justin Bieber, the guy who's the lead singer for Journey. YouTube is where everybody goes to look for new talent. So record all your covers. Oh, and then you can do like a dance, and do singing, do your own music video. With technology, Shane, today you can just do your own video. You can set it up, shoot it, do your own music. Oh boy! Oh, thank you, Cece and Nadia, for asking him to do that because his voice is beautiful. I'm also going to be hiring him to sing at my party. He has to sing at my party. So I'm going to have to pay him a lot of money. He has so many skills. Every year I'm going to hire him for a different act. Oh my God. Well, thank you, Shane, so much, darling, for coming on.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on here.
Truly gifted. You are amazing. And I'm sure everybody tells you that. But you know how it is in the business. I mean it. And I'm sincere. I can't wait to watch you again. God bless.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank
you,
everyone.
Bye,
Shane. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Wow, God. You girls have some amazing talent. I don't even know. Woo! My God. All right, let's move on to this other one. Ooh, Orion. Is it Orion Tran? Now, I know from a previous Vietnamese boyfriend that Tran is a Vietnamese name. I'm looking forward to another Asian. Keep them coming.
He's a little young for you, though.
Darn it. Okay. Orion Tran, he's 10. Oh, yeah. I have to wait 6 years. No. 10-year-old Orion Tran is currently starring as Little Ewan in Pixar's highly acclaimed series Win or Lose. Oh, that's so exciting. Now on Disney Plus, and Orion is also starring in the film Forever is a Delicate Thing. Oh, it so is, isn't it? Due out in 2026. He's also had 2 upcoming Netflix series that he won't be able to discuss in detail. He's another NDA. You got all the NDAs over there. Orion would love to talk about his unique experiences working with Pixar. That I want to hear. His emotional work on Forever is a Delicate Thing. Ooh, emotional work. I want to hear that. And working with his little brother. Is it
Kaizen
on the film Little Bird, while his family protects his privacy and keeps him safe. Thank God for that. Okay, without further ado, let's bring that little cutie patootie Orion Tran on. Where are you, Orion? Oh my God! He looks like my husband when he was little. Oh, he does. He's so cute. How are you?
Hi, Priscilla. Nice to see
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. I know it's probably a little getting close to your bedtime. Now, I want to talk about those things that we just discussed. First of all, how's your little brother? Kaizen. Where is he? Oh my, there he is. Oh my God. Now, hey girls, there's another gorgeous little boy. We got to sign him up too.
Oh, he's signed. Yep.
Oh, he's signed too. Kaizen. Oh my gosh. Now, since you two are working together more or less with Nadia and Cece, what do you think is so cool about working with your brother? Because most siblings, they don't want to be anywhere near their brothers and sisters. So what do you think is the secret?
I don't know. We just get together. We like talk things out, and it's really fun to be with him on set because I just like know someone on set that I have a good relationship with, and that I can be on screen with. And yeah, he's a really nice kid.
Oh, he is. How old is he? Oh my God, it's melting your heart over here, Nadia. Oh my God, he's so good. So, how old is he? Maybe 7? 6,
yeah, he's 7. He's 7 years old.
I am so good at this. Okay, so I would love to talk about, you wanted to talk about your unique experience that you had working with Pixar. Now, what is this emotional work I hear about that you did on Forever is a Delicate Thing? Tell me about it.
Forever is a Delicate Thing is like it's a film where like there's a boy and he's living with his grandfather, and I'm the boy, I'm sorry, in the film, and he has to like leave his grandfather due to like some rules saying that his grandfather isn't legal to keep the boy because he's like smoking and stuff, and he doesn't have proper health, so the boy has to like leave his grandfather, which is the only family he has, and so it's really emotional. I had to cry and stuff. And
is that hard to be able to make yourself cry? Say you're having a great day, you just like, woo, I'm so happy. How do you make yourself cry?
I just try to think about like sad things and like past experiences that make me cry and are really sad. But like it's so hard transitioning from like a happy scene and then the next scene they're like, oh, now you had to cry. I'm like, what? In front of camera? Like on the spot? Like I'm not even ready.
Wow, I know. That would be so hard. Oh my gosh, I admire actors that can cry on command. There are some huge stars that are they can turn it on. And I say, how did they do that? And they just make it look so natural. That is something to aspire to, isn't it?
Yeah, although I kind of
you want it. Yeah. So that was Forever is a Delicate Thing. And then you work with Kaizen on Little Bird. How was that working with Kaizen?
It was so fun to just see him on camera, and he's actually kind of a good actor too. He played his part, and it was really fun working with him because I don't usually get to do stuff with him. It's more like one-on-one with me and my mom. And I don't usually get to like see him on set. I'm usually away from him for a while, and I have to like call or something, or just when I get back. And sometimes I miss him, but on that experience, I got to work with him, and it was so fun.
Kaizen, how did you like working with Orion? How'd you like that? Was that fun?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, I love it. Now, what do you love about acting? Do you really like that?
I got to like spill a ball.
That's great. You like that? Isn't it so much fun learning things and being on the set, and you get to be somebody else? And how cool is that, right? And then you got your brother over here, and he keeps you safe, and you can ask him questions. You can have lunch together at craft services, but don't go around craft services too much because you'll get fat like me. Stay away from the craft services. So what exciting things do you have that Now you can't say because what I think you're an NDA too. Yeah, you got NDAs. What exciting projects do you have in your future, Orion and Kaizen, that you're looking forward to doing without mentioning the title? What character is exciting to play?
Do you want him to maybe talk about Win or Lose? Because that's already out.
Oh, Win or Lose! Yes. What is Win or Lose again? Yes.
It's like,
is that on now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that about, Orion? Tell me about it.
It's about a baseball team or a softball team, and they have to like work together to overcome like many problems that each one faces, and they each have like a different unique quality that's like unhuman, like unhumanish. I don't know, but like they have like one I can't play the character that has that is the inner voice of another character.
Ah, like the movie Inside Out, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like Inside Riley. I'm kind of like inside
yeah.
and I'm just like a little kid that's like the true self that's hiding inside the thick outer shell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, do you like doing voiceovers? I would, if I were an actor, I'd love doing voiceovers more than being on the set. Do you like doing the voiceovers?
Yeah, I like doing the voiceovers better. I don't have to show my face, and it's like one less thing to keep track of, and it's still acting. Like I can still get into that character, and I can still like show stuff with my voice. So I like it better.
Oh, I would too. Oh, if I were an actor, I'd only want to do voiceovers. Oh my God. And you can wear like pajamas going to do your voice. You don't have to fix your hair. You don't have to do anything except do your voiceover. That's exciting. I'm very excited. Cece and Nadia, what do you foresee Orion and his brother doing? What plans do you have for them?
Well, I mean, we're still kind of riding this wave. His character on Win or Lose, Little Ewan, is like such a fan favorite. I mean, there's still to this day, there are videos of Orion and Little Ewan going completely viral. And, you know, everybody really kind of personally identifies with the inner voice. So we're riding that wave because it's still on and he's such a fan favorite. I mean, we posted just on our Instagram page, you know, a couple of videos of like, we like reposted stuff that other people had posted about Orion. And we were just so proud that other people had fallen in love with his character as much as we had. And we reposted, and these videos have gotten completely viral. Wow. And it's because people really identify with the character that Orion and Pixar created, and just the soft, sensitive, sweet inner voice, you know, with the tough kind of egotistical exterior, you know. So I know he's got a huge voiceover career ahead of him, and Orion works so much. I mean, he's got Forever is a Delicate Thing coming out, and I was fortunate. I got to go to the premiere with both Orion and Kaizen for Little Bird. That was a lot of fun seeing them and supporting both of them with that whole endeavor. And I visited Orion on set with Forever is a Delicate Thing, and I was completely blown away by his performance and that. So there's so much. I mean, he's very much, you know, on the radar of so many people now and moving forward with it. So his agents love him. Everybody loves him. So.
Well, I tell you that you, Orion, and you and your brother are a tag team.
They are
tag team. So I look so forward to seeing the projects. As a matter of fact, when we're, oh my God, he's so good. When we finish this interview, I'm going to go look the Win or Lose up.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix or
on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney. Damn, we just canceled that subscription.
Oh, you need to get
Actually, we have so many of them. There's like Okay, which one can we get rid of? Disney Plus.
I think that they started running some of the episodes on YouTube also.
Okay.
The whole team at Pixar was really instrumental in trying to make it really accessible to people. You know, I personally, with Orion's performance and that, we're submitting him for Emmys and all the voiceover awards because it really was like his performance brought me to tears. We were very fortunate. Pixar sent us a couple of the episodes earlier than they aired, and Orion was flown up to Pixar up in San Francisco and got to do the whole well, Orion can talk about that, but his performance in that was like spellbinding. So I think he's at the very least going to be nominated for a bunch of awards for that too.
Go ahead, Orion. Wow. Are you excited about pursuing a career as an actor?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to land more roles and hopefully get like big roles sometime.
Yeah, you will. Well, if the girls, Nani and Cece, are right about you, you'll be walking down the old Oscar red carpet very soon in a couple years. So we're going to look out for you. And I wanted to thank you and your brother for being on the show. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Orion, I'm being told there's a clip. Woo! Let's see the clip. Orion, we're going to see your clip. Okay, let's see Orion.
I don't like Lori. I like Taylor. Is this happening? Marry me. I should greet her. Hi, Sweet Taylor. That was fun. We should let her know. Taylor, you are amazing. I'm lucky to have her.
I like Taylor.
Is this happening? Marry me.
Girl, you know that you love me. So you want to go out or what?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Awesome.
I think that's my bag. It's okay.
Oh my God, how does it feel seeing yourself, Orion? Doing that character, does that make you feel weird seeing it, or you're like, yes, I love that I booked that part. Yes.
I kind of feel both because I'm just like, yeah, I see myself on like this big role on Disney Plus on Pixar and I'm gonna lose, and it's so cool. And then at the same time, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we all look at ourselves with a discerning eye. But that was fantastic. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, boys, for being on the show. Go to bed now because you got to get up for school. We'll see you. Thank you, Orion and Kaizen.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, my God, they're just so precious. Oh, they love each other so much, don't they? Oh, my God. Well, we're down to the last two. And that is, we're going to introduce Brady Landon. And Brady is a 12-year-old honor student. Oh my God, honor student. And he is an athlete and an actor and is about to launch his brand. He's got a brand as a young food critic. Stop it now. I can't stand. I watch every food show there is, but a young food critic. God, Brady started in the business as a baby, but turned his focus on to his, are you kidding? Water polo. Water polo. I love water polo. I watch it at the Olympics. Water polo career when scouts and major companies started contacting his family and MP management during competitive swim meet. And Brittany is expected to go to the, oh, stop it now. I can't stand it. I love the Olympics. Brady is expected to go to the 2032 Olympics. Yes. And currently appears in the upcoming film, The Origin, and serves as the young spokesperson for San Francisco's restaurant. That's my jam. Brady's life experiences are diverse and allow his space to become a whole child. What? And one whose life depends on his career, and not one. Not one. Yes, not one. First of all, what is going on? 2032?
Yeah.
2030. What are you going to do in the Olympics? What's your goal? What sport? Polo? Water polo?
Water polo and to win.
Water polo 2032. Yes. Oh my, now are you in training right now?
Yeah.
What does that entail, Brady? You need a horse and you need water. That's all I know, right? A horse and water.
It's basically like soccer and volleyball, but like in the water. It's 2 nets on the other side of the courts, and you have to grab the ball and shoot it to the other, like, and make it into the other goal.
Yeah, I watch a water polo and I'm like, what are they doing in there? What's happening? What? Oh no, that's not a horse. I'm thinking regular polo. Water polo, you're kind of your own horse, right, Brady?
Yeah.
You're
Like,
the horse.
Like people cut their toenails to like sharp so they can like kind of like stab their opponents in the water.
Oh, I love this. I love the inside scoops on what goes on in water polo. Next time I'm watching it, I'm going to be thinking, where is that leg going? Is he cutting his opponent? There's
Like
the blood.
Like my
Really?
coach has these like weird jagged looking toenails, and it's
Oh, and he's ready to attack at any second. I love that. See, you've given us a behind the scenes knowledge of what I've never read anything about having the jagged toenails. What other tips do you give to people to avoid the jagged toenail? Do you have to keep a certain amount of distance? How can you avoid the jagged toenail, Brady?
you got to just keep passing to your teammates and make sure you don't get too close to the toenails.
Oh my God, this is the best interview. I love this so much. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody about this. I have learned a good trick. Now, you are currently appearing in the upcoming film. Is there an NDA on this one for The Origin?
Is there?
There is. Yes.
Okay, forget The Origin. Now, Cece seems to be with you. Is that your child?
This is my oldest one. Yes.
I can see you look alike. I can see it now.
Thank you. Yeah, he is. When I was pregnant with Brady, before he was even born, all of my agent friends wanted to represent him, and I always joke like he got representation as a fetus, and then just stuck with the business, and I let him choose. You know, I never forced it. I didn't. It was like, this is what I've done in my life. I want you to do what you love to do. And he has like found his passion in the business. And we've really, as a company, we've worked together to find what his brand is, what makes him passionate to do, you know.
Well, Brady, there must be so many things going on in your brain, because you got to be training for the water polo, and then you got your acting lessons. What else do you do over there? What else is CC cracking the whip over there? No, what else do? You got acting, and you got to focus on your polo. What else?
I also do like I'm also signing up for school, like extracurricular things at school. There's this thing called like PAL, where it like helps out the school and like helps plan events and activities.
Yeah,
I signed up for it, so that's going to be one of my things to stay.
What are they doing, PAL?
They like it's like a leadership program. and they can like plan events, and they planned this career fair where my mom was there.
Of course.
Yeah, and she was the most popular booth. With, lots of questions. How can I be actors? How can I be an actor?
What is going on with you as a young food critic? How did that happen? Where are you a food critic?
I'm really passionate about food, so basically wherever I can find food, we video it, and then we're currently editing some videos, so we're gonna post it soon. But I have some favorite places.
Honey, I am a great lover of the fork and spoon, as you can tell, and I watch every cooking show there is. Have you ever been on that Kids Cooking Champion show, or have you ever submitted?
I have not, because I'm not that level of cooking.
They're like, oh, I think you are. Oh, you're a critic, so that's different from the cooking. Or does that go hand in hand? Because in order to be a critic, don't you have to cook?
I'd sit by Gordon Ramsay. That's what I would do.
Whoa, I love Gordon Ramsay, fellow Scorpion. Oh my God, he's hysterical. Do you watch all of his shows?
I watched some, but not all of them.
Hell's Kitchen. Oh, I love that. He's cruel, and I love that. So do you have your own YouTube channel as the young food critic, or where are you giving your critiquing?
We're working on it, but it's most likely going to be on YouTube and Instagram.
And what are you going to critique? Savory or sweet?
Both.
Ooh.
Anything.
Wait, now, okay, so are you going to be going to restaurants and evaluating the food, or is this going to be other children that you're tasting food? Where are you getting your food to critique?
It's going to be like other restaurants, maybe local, or if we travel somewhere, then we'll go around there and find some place to eat.
Remind me, Cece, I have a friend that has a very, very popular show in Chicago, and I'm currently trying to get him booked on, okay, let me back up. Okay, so my friend Max Tucci, his grandfather was the one who opened Delmonico's famous steakhouse in New York. So Max has always been like a cook, and he's just opened a very famous restaurant now called Tucci's in New York. And my friend Rico has a cooking show, and I'm trying to get him to do a day in the life with Max, but Max is so booked, but I'm trying really hard. But I think it would be good to bring Brady on Rico's show. It's a cooking show, and he goes all across the country, and maybe Matt, and I told him, I said, when you do your day in the life show, or when you're going around interviewing these people who own restaurants, the best thing for you to do to entice them, to get them to let you come into the restaurant and cook, to shoot his segments, is to have a film critic with you, so that you can do a live. Now, not many food critics they're not brave enough to do that, because they want to hide and, say, oh, your food sucks and hide. But I think that the strong, brave people like Brady here would like to be going on a show and critiquing and having it shot live. Contact me. Let's see what we can do, because I think that'll be fun. So, what has been your most exciting role, Brady, as an actor? What have you just said? Man, I love doing that role.
I went out for this role that I sadly didn't get, but it was actually a baseball role, and that's when I soon got into the passion of baseball. But I don't play it. I just love the sport of it.
Oh, well, you can be a baseball critic too. A sports announcer. Oh my gosh. Well, is that a film that's expected to come out, or is that an NDA?
He didn't get it, so I mean, we still can't talk about it. But it's one of the films that moved up to Canada, and Brady does have half Canadian citizenship, but for Americans who are primarily American to work up in Canada, there's a lot that we have to go through, and it is very difficult.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I had a guy on that was talking about the two. What is Cece? What is it with the contracts? Is there a dispute with the Canadian? With the American actors working in Canada and the Canadian actors working in America. Apparently there's some problems or something, right? Does that apply to children too? Or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter age. It's there's been issues for years in that respect. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know at one point it was like only 4% of a cast or crew working in Canada could be non-Canadian, and that included like A-list stars. Yeah. So they made up the 4%, and so getting anybody who wasn't Canadian to work on it who wasn't an A-list star was very, very difficult. So Canada's very protective of the work that goes on up there.
Yeah, they really are. Brady, you're rocking that hair. I can't stop it. I want that hair. I want to scalp you right now. Beautiful hair. But I wanted to ask, talking about Canada, Cece, have you submitted your clients to this new project? It's a Star Wars, or is it Star Wars or Star Trek? Star Trek. Okay, so Star Trek they're about to shoot a new television series in Canada. I don't know if I gave that away because that was told in private.
Well,
well, look it up. I don't know. I heard it somewhere. Well, a couple of my casting director friends said that they're like Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Enterprise. I don't remember Albert, do you know the name? It's Star Trek. Oh, it's Star Trek Starfleet Academy, and they're looking for lots of kids. So check that out and submit your people, because I think they're going to be casting soon if they haven't already. I can't keep track of it. But look it up, because Brady would be perfect, because I was talking to one of my casting director friends. He said, well, look at somebody that has like the Fabio hair, a kid, but has long hair. So when I saw him, I was thinking that he would be perfect. Oh my God. Well, Brady, I can't wait to see you in the future, but I hope I'm still living 2032, because I'll be rooting for you. Oh, Brady! Don't cut it with your toenails. I'll be wearing a flag.
Brady, don't forget, you also have that great, to start your whole Instagram food critic. You had a great little intro that you've already shot, and it's already out there.
Where is it? Where is it, Nadia?
It's on the That's My Jam San Francisco Instagram.
That's My Jam San Francisco Instagram.
But it's That's My Jam and then SF.
SF. Oh, That's My Jam SF on Instagram. All right, people, go there. That's My Jam SF. Is it on YouTube though? Is it, or just Instagram?
It's actually a really fun commercial for the restaurant, and they should check it out.
Oh, and what's the name of the restaurant?
That's My Jam.
That's the name of the restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a code name. That's My Jam. I'm Brady. I'm Brady Land, and that's my jam. All right. We'll check it out. Thank you so much, Brady.
All right.
Go to sleep. Make sure you moisturize your hair.
I will.
So beautiful. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh, he's so cute. All right, we're down to our last person. I can't believe we got through it. I thought we were going to be able to do all this in an hour, but fear not, we're almost done, because the next person, this is Ella. Ella, is it Yergi?
Yergi.
Yergi. Ella Yergi. Ella is a 17-year-old Albert, we haven't been showing the pictures. I just thought I really wanted to show the pictures while I'm announcing their bio, and I just didn't think of it. But can we put Ella up while I'm reading her bio, and then we'll bring the girls back in? Wait, no, that's not
me.
Yeah, that's Stacey. No,
That's
say
Brady.
yes when we get to the right person.
That's Shane.
No,
That's Shane. That's Shane. That's Shane.
Shane.
That's Tessa. That's Tessa. Tessa.
Tessa.
That's Tessa. Tessa and Imani. Imani.
I know
Imani.
we got her. I know we got.
There's Ella. These are Ella. Yeah.
Do we have another Ella? I think Ella's got the blue eyes. Keep going, because she's got the freckles and the blue eyes.
Yep.
That's Ella, right?
Yep.
Ella?
Yep.
Yep. There it is. Hold on that one. Oh my God. Okay. So Ella Yergi I can't believe she's 17. She looks 12 in that picture.
I know.
Oh,
She does look very young.
She's going to age gracefully.
Mhm.
17-year-old Ella Yergi is currently a junior in the Musical Theater Conservatory at Orange County School of the Arts. And she started her acting career when she was in kindergarten, signing with MP Management and her agency. Her agency, and quickly booked her first job, a voiceover on Doc McStuffins. Oh, I love that name. Co-starring within first. What? What? Lady Michelle Obama. Stop it. She quickly booked her first national commercial, and over the years, Ella has booked several more commercials, films, and series. The Mentalist. Oh, I love that show. While pursuing her professional acting career, she is also devoted to her passion of musical theater, singing, acting, and dancing in 26 musicals over the past 10 years here we come, as she prepares for her Broadway, debut. Wow. Her Instagram is instagram.com. She's Ella Yerge, ELLAJERGE. And boy, that's exciting. So without further ado, let's bring on the gorgeous, beautiful Ella Yerge. Where are you, Ella?
Hi, Priscilla. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God! Oh, you've changed your hair. I love a person that goes with different colors. You got to keep it up. Keep changing your look, right?
I've actually never dyed my hair. It just looks very dark in this lighting.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, because you got the strawberry blonde thing going on in the picture. So I thought you completely changed your hair color. Well, there you go. You look different. You're versatile. You got versatile hair lighting situations going on. So you're 17 now. How long have you been with Cece and Nadia?
I have been with MP Management since I was 6. I took classes with them when I was younger, and I had a lot of fun. And Marlene at the time had asked me if I wanted to be represented by them, and I was absolutely ecstatic.
Bet you were. They're 2 little cuties, in my opinion. Now, I see here that you're currently a junior in the Musical Theater Conservatory. What is your favorite musical of all time?
Oh, that's a really, really tough one. I really love Merrily We Roll Along. I love that musical.
And not the Merrily, I can't even say it. I think at this point, Cece and Nadia, I'm ready to pass out from talking too much. What is of the standard musical theaters, like classic, what is your favorite role that if you had a chance to be cast as the lead role, who is it? What's the name of the musical and who would you be?
In a classic one, I would probably want to be Lori in Oklahoma because she dances as well.
Yeah.
And I love to dance as well.
And what's your training with dance? Jazz, pop?
I've done jazz. More recently, I've been into a lot of ballet. And a few years ago, I started Point, which has been really fun.
Are you watching that new show called what is it in French for star? Alouette? It's a new show on Netflix, and it's about a ballerina company and all the, Cece's nodding. You know what I'm talking about. I started watching. It's from the same writer from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's so funny. It's all about ballerina and the world behind the scenes of being a dancer. You need to check it out. How's it spelled, Cece? Eliote, Eloise. It's French for star ballerina. But check it out. I think you'll like it. And so you started your acting career when you were in kindergarten.
Yes.
How did that come to be? Did you just wake up one morning in kindergarten and say, I want to be an actor? What was happening?
Well, I've always been very energetic and very talkative. And I remember my mom tells this story all the time. I was 5 or 6 and I was watching a gymnastics show and I kept pointing at the TV and saying, Mommy, I want to do that. And she's like, okay, we'll put you in gymnastics. And I was like, no, Mom, I want to do that. She's like, what? And I went, I want to be on TV. And she was like, you know what? I'll sign you up for an acting class.
And what was how old were you and what was the acting class? What did it consist of? Like, were you a tree? Like in Acting 101, they usually have you do more animals, or you're a tree or a leaf or water. Do you remember?
My first acting class was Cece and Marlene's class, actually. And we did a lot of things like learning how to read commercials and how to walk into an audition and do a cold read. But my favorite thing that I've always loved was doing improv. I have loved improv so much.
What? And do they have improv classes for children?
Yes.
No, they have for adults. Really? For children?
Where
do you go for?
They're incorporated into a lot of acting classes as like a skill that people use when they go into auditions, because it's really important to be able to think on your feet.
Yeah. Those cold readings. Now, your first voiceover job, did you, because you do musical theater and you're acting, voiceover is kind of the same, but there are different variations to being a voiceover actor. What have you learned from being a voiceover actor that's different than, say, doing musical theater?
I've learned that you get a lot of like different tries and different takes, because a lot of voiceover scenes happen to be shorter. I don't know if it's just because they're for cartoons or for video games, but you get to really experiment with like saying the lines differently and trying it new ways.
Is that you, are you talking about you have the script, you're at home, you're going to try it different ways and submit all of them? Or do they give you instructions? Hey, I want you to do it this way, that way, this way.
Usually it's mostly me experimenting at home and then sending the clips to the management or the agents, and then them sending in the one they like the best, or getting feedback. And sometimes I'm able to submit multiple takes.
Oh, is that what you and Cece and Nadia, that's what you do?
Yes.
What, you get her clips and then you submit the ones. Oh my God, that's exciting. Now, oh my God, what is going on with Lady Michelle Obama? I want to hear everything. How did that happen?
It really, the show, the episode was Doc McStuffin had won like an award and she got to go to the White House, and First Lady Michelle Obama was taking all the kids there on a tour of the house.
Oh my God. What did you think? Had you known anything about Lady Michelle Obama before meeting her? Or were you prepped? Did your mother say, okay, don't do that, don't do this, do that, do this? Because I would have been grilled if I were going to the White House.
I kind of just worked like it was a normal job because we recorded separately. So it was very, very professional.
Very professional. You seem like a very professional person. Like you got it going on. You know where you want to go. You know what you want to do. So I think you have a very long career, and you're going to focus on business, because let me tell you, a lot of people just want to focus on the creative, artistic aspect of being an actor, but I think you clearly understand that you are an entrepreneur and you need to be the sales department, accounts receivable, accounts payable, marketing, PR when you grow up. Of course, not now, because I imagine, your parents do that for you. But I think that you're going to do very well with keeping your career on track, which is very important. You're not going to end up broke in the unemployment line from not knowing how to manage your business. Now, you booked your first national commercial. What was it? And what did you love about it?
It was a Walmart commercial, and it was such a fun experience. I got to drive a little Hello Kitty car across a stage, but that experience reminds me of a Boom Chicka Pop commercial I did, which was also super fun. Basically, the concept of the commercial was, what would the world be like without popcorn? And it was like an exaggerated birthday party where the theme was popcorn. So they had a popcorn piñata that dumped popcorn on us, and they had a bounce house filled all the way to the top, just with all different flavors of popcorn.
Oh my
God. So fun.
Did you get to get in it? Did you get to get in the popcorn and shove it in your mouth?
Absolutely. It's like when you have a dream of like swimming in a pool of gummy bears.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It was like literally a dream. It was awesome.
Oh my God, for me it would be Jell-O, red and green Jell-O. But I see where you're going with it. Oh, I hear you, girl. Now, do you like doing, I know for different reasons you like doing different things. If someone said, okay, you're going to be booked tomorrow, but you can only choose to get a role in musical theater, a commercial, a voiceover, which would you do and why?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a really difficult question because I love singing, dancing, and acting, but I kind of found a loophole, a show like Smash, where it's about theater, or something where you get to be on a TV set, but sing and dance and act just like you would in theater.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now, you're a child, so obviously you have lots of energy, but when you're on the set, if they require you to do singing and acting and dancing, do they have breaks? Like, do they give children breaks so that you can do your schooling? Do they have tutors still? I don't know what's going on the set anymore. They have tutors?
Yes, they have to legally hire teachers if they have children under the age of 18, which is really great because as a child on set, sometimes you just really need like a time to focus on school and being a kid, even if it's just like a 20-minute break between takes.
Yeah.
But it's really useful. I think it gets more useful as you grow up because currently right now I'm in 4 like honors and AP classes. So I don't know how it would be possible to juggle like being on set and also keeping up with studies. So I think it's really important that they have teachers and tutors on set.
Oh my God. And I hope you got your Jackie Coogan set up. You got your Jackie Coogan account set up? Cece and Nadia, did you set up her Jackie Coogan?
Well, they can't work without it. So they will, they won't even offer a booking until there's confirmation that the kids have their Coogan accounts.
And what do they have to put? What's the contribution percentage now?
It's a minimum of 15%, and that 15% of their gross amount that they make is untouchable until they turn at least 18. And some parents will make it until they're older if they feel like their child shouldn't access that money until maybe after college or they're ready to settle down. So it's a minimum of 15%. Some parents will put everything into the Coogan account. I don't always recommend that either. I think they need to have some money accessible for things like classes and headshots.
Right.
But the more that they can put into the Coogan account is really better for the child, because when they turn 18, next year when Ella turns 18, Depending on how her family had set up her Coogan account, she would be able to access it if she needs it for college or to buy a car or her first house or whatever.
Or backpack to Europe, hit to Prague and Amsterdam. I'm going to tour Europe and get some experience for my character. I need to get experience. So you were on The Mentalist. I want to hear everything. How did you love that? Who did you play?
I loved it. I was in the last episode, the wedding episode. I was the leading lady's niece who came in town for the wedding. And it was such a fun experience. I remember in the closing scene, I learned a very, very important lesson. We had done the take a few times, and basically my job was to run and jump into the leading man's arms, and he would spin me around as a celebration after the wedding. And we'd done the scene a couple times, but they kept having us redo it. And in my head, I think I was like 7 or 8. I was like, oh my gosh, I must be doing something wrong. So I decided that for one take, they must want me to look right into the camera and smile. And so that's what I did. And it was really funny. It could have been a lot worse, but everyone started laughing, thinking of me not to do it. But it was just a really supportive set in a supportive environment.
Well, you gotta try it. How do you know if you didn't try it? Trial and error. You did the right thing. I think my friend Mary Lou Bell, I directed a couple episodes of The Mentalist, and she said it was a wonderful experience. Everybody was so great to work with. She said it was a very fun environment. Did you find that to be the case, Ella?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Now, what is your favorite show right now on TV, and the one that you're hoping that Cece and Nadia are pitching you day and night, 24 hours a day to get you on that show?
Oh my gosh. I don't think it's possible, but I really love Dairy Girls. It's hilarious.
Are you talking about the Irish show?
Absolutely, I am.
Oh my God, that's my favorite show of all time. They're not from Ireland because I'm Irish and English. I've watched that like 3 times. I can't believe you're so young. I did not even think you would know about the Dairy Girls. Are they reprising that here? Are they making an American version?
I hope so.
Now, what character, Ella, would you want to be in the Dairy Girls? I have my favorite. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. I
They're
love
all
Michelle.
such great characters, aren't they?
They are.
Oh.
I love Sister Michael, and I love Michelle.
Michelle. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember how they picked on that poor boy. Oh, my God. Oh, well, that's a whole nother kind. But, I'm just so happy you mentioned the Dairy Girls. I love that. Do you watch a lot of foreign TV? I prefer to watch foreign TV.
My mom loves it, so yes.
Yes. I would prefer watching foreign television. I mean, I, of course, have my Chicago's, Law and Order, and my FBI, which are my standard. And, of course, I'm obsessed with all the 90-Day Fiancés. Like, I can't get away from it. But if I have to watch television, I prefer to watch foreign television. But oh my God, you made me so happy telling me about the Dairy Girls. I'm gonna go watch it now, Ella, after the interview. There's so many fun shows. What do you hope at the end of your career that the dream role that you would love to do?
It sounds really, really cheesy, but I would love to just be a part of something that like makes a difference. Whether it's like a deep emotional thing or like a comedic role, just something that maybe speaks about an important issue or just showcases someone's perspective, just something that really impacts people.
Yeah, like you're probably too young, but I'm sure you've heard of Erin Brockovich, but something pivotal, a strong woman, making her mark in the world. I think that's where I see it all. Cece and Nani, I'm seeing an Oscar here for Ella doing a strong female role.
I agree. I saw Ella recently. She did a production of Ordinary Day, and it was like one of my favorite nights in the past several years. I just loved, she sang and she acted in it, and her comedic timing was so impeccable, and her voice was gorgeous. Like, I laughed and I cried like the whole time. And I at that moment I was like, I know she's bound for Broadway and
Yeah.
amazing things after that. But I mean, Ella's been a part of my life for so long. When I met her in kindergarten, and I've known her throughout elementary school, and she's kind of like the big sister to my sons, and you know, through middle school and high school. I just know like she's absolutely going to make a big difference in what she does, and I could 100% see her in like an Erin Brockovich.
But are you going to send her off to Broadway? What happens when she gets called by the Broadway gods?
I will be there on opening night.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an amazing tap dancer too. She didn't mention the tap dance, but
oh, stop it.
Yeah, she's
Ella!
I know. She's got a dance reel that is like so fun to watch, and it's her with doing ballet, and then she's tapping in it too. And you know,
where can we see this? Is she on YouTube? Where can we see her footage? Where's the footage?
Well, I think we have it on the MP Management Instagram page. If we don't, we're gonna put it up this week. It's so good. She's so good.
I want to send it to me.
I will.
She sings, she plays guitar.
Yeah.
You better stop it now. Ella, what is it, girl? You are superhuman. You play guitar, electrical or acoustic?
I've played a little bit of electric, mostly for fun, but I love playing acoustic and I love singing with my guitar as well.
And what type of music do you like to play on the acoustic guitar?
I love playing classics. My favorite song to play is Landslide. I'm trying to get more into Beatles, and then actually last night I was working on American Pie just on a whim because I love that song.
My husband is obsessed with two groups. In his world, no one exists except the Beatles and the Eagles. And so I'm with you, girl, on the Beatles. Oh my God. But you know, it's so great to see you liking, you know, groups like the Beatles, because young kids today, everything's about, you know, the electro pop and the hip hop, which is not my cup of tea. I'm old school. I'm old. So old school. So it's good that young kids are getting back into the love of real music, and even Landslide by the Girls. Come on, Nikki. Wait a minute. Who is the girl that sings in the Landslide?
Stevie Nicks.
Steve, thank you. She has threatened me by stealing my Harry Styles, Ella. I am obsessed with One Direction and Harry Styles, which might be too young to know who they are, but yes, she is amazing. Oh, I get so excited, Cece and Nadia, about seeing a young girl like this. This makes me have hope that the young people are still going to carry on the traditional music that is real music, that actually uses a guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, so much music these days, Ella, they don't even play the guitar. It's just all electric pop and AI sounds.
Ella's version of Landslide, like Ella probably doesn't know that. She knows I've seen a video that she did where she's playing guitar and she's singing Landslide. But what Ella doesn't know is that even after we submitted that for an audition, for weeks later, I would just watch that like at night. If I just like, you know, I wanted to listen to good music and I was like, what do I need? And I'm like, oh, it's Ella's version of Landslide. It's so good.
It's not on YouTube?
It's not.
I don't think we weren't allowed to post it. I have to see what project it was, but
Send it to me for my private collection. But you know what I'm going to ask you, Ella? Can you just give me one verse?
Yeah.
And the Landslide. I'm not
Yeah.
guessing. Come on, give me something, girl.
My dad's bringing my guitar right now.
Oh my God! Look, Dad is right there. All right. Yay!
Saw my reflection landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I built my life around you. Oh, my guitar's going out of tune.
Oh, that's that's all right. Yes. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. Oh, you were right, Cece and Nadia. This one, take it away, girl. But send me that link, okay? Because I really want to hear it. I'd like to hear her Beatles stuff too. Talk about you in third person, Ella. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you. I wish you the most success ever, which I think is going to happen. And thank you, Miss Cece and Miss Nadia Witt. And we can find them on Instagram. Cece, give me your Instagram handle.
Cece Klein. That's it.
At Cece and Nadia.
And I think the MP management is the one that we should definitely post up there. You got that one, right?
Yeah. S is in Sam. SMP management _MPM _official. But I think if you just put, isn't there an S in front of them?
No. It's just
where the hell did that S come from?
I don't know. I thought you were throwing new letters.
That was MP management on Instagram, and we can find you. Thank you, girls, for coming on. I wish you the best. Oh my God, thank you. Keep in touch. Send me stuff so I can post it.
We will. We'll send you tons of stuff.
Bye, Ella. Bye, Cece.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Christine. It was so much fun.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.